All right, y'all. Shalom. We back. Test, test, test. All praises to the Most High God. All praises. All right, y'all. We gonna sign right in. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises be unto Yahweh. In the name of his son Yahweh Shai, the man that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? We are San Antonio Masada, back on the San Antonio River Walk. It's been a second, right? Some duress in real life has kind of delayed the ministry a little bit. But that don't mean the ministry stopped. Right? How Martin Luther King put it, justice delayed is not justice denied. So though we might have been delayed, we ain't stopped coming out here, right? So for those of y'all who've been following what's going on the earth, y'all should know what's going on in Gary, Indiana. And this is a warning to all you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. The calamities that are coming to America, when the infrastructure in your area suffers, it will stay broken. Gary, Indiana had one tornado, granted it was an EF3, and a derecho. For those of y'all who don't know what a derecho is, it's just a sudden onset of turbulent storm activity, right? Winds in excess of 80, 90 miles an hour. Basically a hurricane, right? That only lasts about an hour. But they haven't had power for 8 days. And just in case y'all don't know, the water pumps that you get your water from in your house, they require electricity to run. The gas that you need in your house, it has components along its infrastructure that is electricity powered. So they have a complete breakdown in their infrastructure. So much so that people with their last vestiges of cell phone charge are putting up videos talking about how dystopic it is, how dark it is at night. And when they put those videos up of how dark it is at night, it is literally pitch black. That's what's coming here, y'all. Remember how, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get it. Let's not talk about it. Go to Deuteronomy 30 real quick. See, Moses was told by the Most High God that he would put all the curses that were upon the Israelites upon our enemies. Give me 30 and 7. And that is exactly what you are slowly but surely seeing happen in America. You are seeing the curses that the Israelites have had to bear for the last 500 years. They are now changing hands. Go ahead and get it.
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
And that's exactly what's happening. See, again, that's why when people pretend like we're not out here, that's fine. But when the curses show up, just know, we warned you. We told you. We warned you that America was going to be hated of all her allies. We warned you. What we say in Revelation, that, basically the beast shall hate the whore. They shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For those of y'all who are not familiar with the prophecies of the beast with the 7 heads and the 10 horns, that represents a body of nations. And that body of nations has turned its back on America and now hates her. And with just due cause. Because if you look at the actions of America, America is behaving like a out-of-control tyrant. And as a result, all of America's once upon a time allies have turned into enemies, right, in short order. But we say that to say this, to blacks, Hispanics, and Indians, to wake up and to repent and to come back to your people and to come back to your God first and foremost, right? Let's get that darkness in Egypt real quick, right? Darkness so thick that it could be felt, right? It's somewhere in 7. Hold on 1 second. As a matter of fact, go to Wisdom of Solomon 18 real quick. We'll just get it there. See, we have to bring these things out, man, because more times than not, especially the so-called white man, y'all tell yourselves y'all ain't done nothing wrong. Y'all say America is innocent. Yeah, America's got a few rough spots, but who doesn't? That's the logic that we hear all the time when the worst slavery and genocide happened in world history here. But let's get this real quick. And start, as a matter of fact, start at 1. 18. I'm sorry, 17 and 1. Start at 17. Actually, you know what? 17 and 18 pretty much say the same thing. Let's just go to 18. Start 18 and we'll go to 17 after.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 1. Nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light, whose voice they hearing and not seeing, their shake because they also had not suffered the same things, they counted them happy.
So while the Most High God was afflicting our oppressors with darkness so thick that it could be felt and having them see ghosts and strange apparitions, he made sure his people didn't have to deal with that. The faithful Israelites who kept his laws and kept the faith in God, he didn't let them see those types of curses. The same way in Gary, Indiana, despite the white man not helping our people, the Most High God is keeping the feet of his saints as he always does. Keep going.
Verse 2. But for that they did not hurt them now, or whom they had been wronged before. They thanked them and besought them pardon, for that they had been enemies, instead whereof thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire, both to be a guide of the unknown journey, and a harmless sun to entertain them honorably.
And that's exactly what's happening now. The Most High God is guiding the feet of his people through all of these calamities that are befalling America. That's one of the things that you see on social media constantly. Why aren't you blacks and Hispanics panicking like us? We're happy to see this place go down in flames. It can't happen soon enough. Right. And you genocidal racist devils can't go into slavery soon enough. And it's right up the street. I guarantee. Keep going. Long time coming.
Verse 4. For they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness, who had kept thy son shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world. And when they had determined to slay the babes of the saints, one child being cast forth and saved, to reprove them, thou tookest away the multitude of their children, and destroyest them altogether in mighty water.
See, you need to understand, so-called white man, you might kill one of us by lynching us, but God's going to take 10 of you. Y'all see that black man who shot up that Budweiser factory? Omar Thornton killed 8 devils. But yet the white man says, oh, we weren't racially profiling him. We weren't discriminating against him, putting nooses and drawing all types of racist shit on the bathroom walls, calling him a nigger, doing all types of sideways stuff. All of a sudden, everybody, they put their head in the sand and go, oh, he's just making it up. They even recorded his 911 call after he got done killing all them people. And he told them why he was doing it. I'm doing it because of the constant ridicule, the constant racism, the constant oppression. It's bad enough we got to pay taxes to you while you oppress us, but then you go out of your way to make it worse. But Mr. Omar Thornton, although he was married to a white woman, the Most High God had that brother go out on his shield. And I'm going to tell you, in the days to come, there's going to be a lot of black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people who say, fuck it. I'd rather go out fighting. Right. Go to Isaiah 19 with me real quick. We're going to come back to Wisdom of Solomon. And we're going to get on the lesson. This ain't even part of it. But this is very important for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians because you are coming into Jacob's trouble. See, these pale devils that have done so much raping and robbing, they try to ignore this message, not understanding it's your country that's going kaput. It's your country that's being hated around the earth. You are hated. Your victims are not. But let's get this real quick. Get me, start at 14. Yeah, 1914. Yes, sir.
It's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14.
Bring it out.
The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
We gonna let it rock, but I gotta put some emphasis on this. Everything that America's putting her hand to is failing. How about that job market? Y'all don't want to go work at Mickey D's or at Walmart? See, your president is saying all the new jobs he's creating, those are jobs that you can build a family on. Meanwhile, they barely pay above minimum wage. But if you were making a good $100,000, if you were part of the middle class, chances are your job is gone right now, thanks to good old AI, which is churning out failure after failure after failure. And I know because I work a job where we fix the failures of AI. And it's something. I'm getting a promotion in my job. And see, that's why I don't tell y'all what I do. I have to say this because I know y'all don't like to see a nigga make it out here, especially while he's speaking truth to power. For real, but to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, this is the healing salve that you need for your wounds that you've gotten from this unjust nation that you've been forced to live in. Right, but keep going.
Verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and feared, because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it.
Y'all don't know what to be afraid of right now. Y'all don't know if y'all want to be afraid of the Iranians. You don't know if you want to be afraid of the Chinese, the Russians, the North Koreans. Hell, you don't know if you want to be afraid of other white people here. Crashing out or chipping out, as Chud the Builder would say. And ain't it funny, he attributed that to black people when the white man is the one who immediately goes and grabs a gun as soon as things don't go his way. Don't be with a white man as a woman and break up with him. You have to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. Don't take the white man in the back room and fire him. You're going to have to hire extra security to lock down the compound. Otherwise, he's going to come back and air the place out. See, all these negative things that they attributed to us, the world is starting to see, oh, wait, it's y'all. It's been y'all the whole time. That uncivilized element that seems to ruin everything, oh, yeah, that's them pale folk. They always said it was the black people that were ruining America. But now that we done seen America for what it is, we realize it's been you the whole time. So these people, they don't know what to be afraid of. But here's the thing. You should be afraid of God, the God of the Israelites, because that's why all this is happening. You're being judged. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Every one that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it.
See, all this talking about how black people are the ruin of America. See, there's going to come a day where y'all going to be afraid to mention black people. Because y'all going to get what you've been pushing for all these centuries. The black man is finally going to get off his ass and go to war with your ass. And you're going to find out, just like how you found out in Iran, all them bombs, tanks, and planes, they're not as effective as you think. And it's going to be real uncomfortable and awkward when you have to acknowledge that the black people are all throughout your military, all throughout your law enforcement, and it's going to be a very precarious situation to manage. Because you're going to have to employ the people that you oppress to oppress themselves. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. White Man, it ain't going to work. The Bible lets you know that anybody who even mentions Judah is going to be afraid in and of himself. I would say, you know what? It's about time. When you think about the strongest, the fastest, the most resilient people on the planet, black people are first in line. Negroes, followed by our Hispanic brethren and our Native American brethren. But the black man is first and foremost. when it comes to the most fearsome combatant that you can dream up in a nightmare. And guess what, Mr. White Man? For all of your provocation, you're about to get exactly what you've been asking for. An enemy that you cannot defeat. And that is God's chosen leader, Judah. Which is going to be, of course, led by his son, Yahushua. See, and again, I have to keep mentioning this. Every Saturday that we come out here, there's less and less and less people. Ain't nobody out here. Because how you going to be out here with no money? How you going to be out here with no job? See, we going to keep saying this even if we have to preach to the wind. See, and that's also why we got this PA speaker, so that those y'all who are far away can hear this word and come get it. What you're going through right now, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, are the trimmings of Jacob's trouble. And it's only going to get worse from here. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 17. So we see that the Most High God cursed the Egyptians with darkness. Darkness so much that they couldn't even move or leave their houses. But yet he spared his own children. Let's see what these heathen were seeing while they were dealing with these bouts of darkness. Yeah, go ahead and grab that real quick. Exodus 10 and 21. Go ahead and grab that real quick. Yeah, darkness.
Exodus chapter 10, verse 21.
Bring it out.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
See, again, that's exactly what's coming to America. See, and right now, everybody puts their chin up, turns away, and goes, I don't need to hear that. Them brothers are crazy. But I guarantee if we were preaching this message in Gary, Indiana, we'd have far more listeners. See, that's why the Bible says, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. See, when you see it all happening, you see the Most High God preserving his people, that's when you want to get in line and go, oh, I love Jesus the whole time. Not understanding, that's when God goes, yeah, and I'm going to require everything that you did in the past before I make everything good so you can be accepted again. How you doing, King?
What's up, man?
How you doing, Bunyamin? Benjamin. You Jamaican, right?
Yeah, you remember me?
I do.
Hey, good deal.
How you doing, King? Oh,
You can shake hands with me. How you doing?
brother, do you believe in the Bible?
I believe in God. What are you talking about?
Well, which God are you talking about? There's many gods. Did you know you're a God?
I believe in Jesus Christ.
All praises. Let me show you that we're gods too. Give me Psalms 82 and 6. And this is to my camera. So blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you've been told that you're nothing for so long that when somebody calls you a king or a god, you think it's just people trying to uplift your spirit.
I mean, look at it this way, right? If we believe Jesus Christ is King of Kings, we follow him. That makes us kings too. We submit to him.
Now, can anybody be a king? Like, say a white man wants to follow Christ. Can you do that?
I think it's open for everyone.
Let's-
You just have to submit your life to Jesus Christ.
Well, let's see what the Bible says. Get that real quick.
Yeah, just six.
Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Right? So this says that the Israelites are gods. But let's see if everybody has a right to that title. Right? Get me Matthew 15 and 24. We're going to get the basics. And then I want to get the new covenant. Because when Christ comes back, aren't we going to be under the new covenant as we're in the kingdom of Christ?
Yes.
Yes. Can anybody be under that covenant?
Unless you submit your life to Christ.
We're going to see. Right?
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So this is Christ talking to a Syrophoenician woman. Somebody that you would call a Canaanite, a Hamite. And she's asking Christ, to heal her daughter, who's sick with some type of sickness. She's vexed with a devil, right? Christ said that he's only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Yes.
Now, who are these lost sheep? It says the house of Israel, but maybe they could be grafted in. Who are the lost sheep? Go to Jeremiah 50. Now, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, King, but if somebody came up to you and said, hey, I got a brand new Lexus for you, top of the line. It's a $500,000 car. It can go 0 to 1,000 miles an hour in 2 seconds. You ain't gonna just get the keys and drive down the road, are you?
No.
No, you're gonna go, hey, so where's the operator's manual? Where's the title for the car? Where's all the paperwork I gotta handle? So when you're talking about the promises of God, you gotta know the paperwork trail, King. You gotta know. So if I were to ask you, where's the new covenant in the Bible? Where's that paperwork that gives the details on the covenant that's been made between God and man? It's in Hebrews 8 and 8. It's also in Jeremiah 31 and 31. That's where it comes from.
Okay.
Right? But let's get Jeremiah 50 and start at 6.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from the mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that.
That's all we need. Now go to 5 and stay right there. So it says that God's people have been lost sheep. Well, who are the people that is being talked about in Jeremiah 50?
Who do you say they are?
Let's go one verse up.
Verse 5. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
So the people that are the lost sheep are the same people in verse 5 that are called Zion, Israel. The Israelites are who you would call Zion, Shiloh, Ariel, or Lion of God. All these different names. But yet they are God's chosen. Go to Micah 2. We're not going to hold you up, King.
You're good. You're good.
I just want to illustrate to you that you have a very illustrious position of being the partition by which the heathen are going to interface with God. Do you have any kids?
Oh yeah, I got 2.
Okay, you got 2 children. Can your kids just bring other kids home and go, hey, Tommy didn't get an allowance this week. Can you give him some money?
No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So what do you think it looks like when we bring one of these heathen around and go, oh, he doesn't have a God. God didn't choose him, but I want him to come and live in the house with me.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. So what you're really saying is if God didn't choose them, that's too bad. That's okay, King, because guess what? Oh, go ahead.
It's not a matter that God didn't choose them. So if you look at it, right, and this is how I explain it to my wife, and my kids aren't old enough to understand, but walking this life, it's not, oh, I'm going to go get baptized and that's going to be it, I'm good. It comes at a cost. It's harder to live this life than it is to even live in the world. Because you're sacrificing every day. You have to restrain yourself,
Yes.
right? If you live by the principles of the kingdom of God, right, you apply them in your life, you will realize that everything you have, it didn't come for free. You start appreciating things. So in the whole context of bringing other people into your domain, to use your resources into your kingdom that God's blessed you with, to consume your resources, it just doesn't work that way. I can't just give it to you simply because I have an abundance, right? Even Jesus Christ says it. The poor you will always have with you. A lot of times these people, money, like you see a man on the street begging, he doesn't just need money. Money is not the root cause of his problem. He needs a shift in mind, right? This is why when you give your life over to God, you give your life over to Jesus Christ, you submit to him and you live by the principles of the kingdom, then all these things will start following you. You start applying it. And here's another thing that us as believers, we tend to get wrong at times. You have people you call, let me put it this way, right? They spend too much time just admiring, which is, I'm not saying it's wrong, because we are supposed to admire it, but they spend too much time talking about the word of God instead of actually applying it.
I have a question for you. How do you do that?
All right, so here's the deal.
No, it's not, and it's not a long-winded question.
No.
When you come to serve God, how do you serve him?
So you serve him by managing the blessings that he's given to you.
Now, I have to stop you. Where is that in the Bible?
Genesis.
Where?
So when he says, let us make man, right? When he says, let us make man, what's the original intent for God putting man on this earth?
Adam was to be his chosen among the men on the earth. There were more than two people on the planet.
So when you go before that chapter where it says, God did not he did not cause it to rain upon the land because there was no man to manage it. How do you interpret that?
It doesn't say that.
Look at it.
No, you got to tell me where it's at.
Genesis is either between in Genesis at the end of Genesis 1 or Genesis chapter 2.
Okay. But before that, I'm going to show you how you serve God because I don't want to leave that out there.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
Okay.
So that's how you serve God.
So let me break it down this way then. All right. Let's use it in terms of business sense. I own a company. You work for me. Right? Are you going to run that company the way you want to run it or the way I say you're supposed to
Of
run
course,
it?
I'm running the way you want to.
Exactly.
Okay.
So God put us on this earth, right, to manage his world. Am I going to run it the way I want to run it, or I'm going to submit to what he say I need to do?
Okay.
That's where I'm going.
No, I understand. That's why all I'm doing, King, is I'm parity checking. I'm making
Okay.
sure what's supposed to be there is there.
Okay.
So,
don't-
you're saying you want to serve God according to what he told you to do.
Exactly.
When's the last time you kept Passover? And that's exactly why we have to ask these questions, King. Because that's what he told you to do in perpetuity. Hey, when's the last time you kept the Sabbath?
Sunday.
Well, Sunday's the first day of the week. Look on your calendar. Look on your phone.
Yeah, it is the first day of the week. I get that part.
And what did God tell you to do?
On the 7th.
On the last day of the week.
Yeah, which is the 7th day.
So
So Saturday.
So you're going to keep the Sabbath on what day now? You see, when you get put on the spot, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I didn't agree to that. But that's what God told you.
You're right. And you're right.
Hey, you like pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster?
No.
So you don't eat pork at all? All praises. How about shrimp? No shellfish?
No. I keep my meal very simple.
Okay, all praises. Because I know most of our Caribbean brothers, y'all
No.
eat all that. But Leviticus 11. Hey, did you vote?
No.
You don't vote? Good, because in Deuteronomy it tells you you're supposed to select one from your brethren to put over you as king.
Exactly.
You wear mixed fabric?
If I do what?
Wear mixed fabric. I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm
Well,
just trying to let
so-
you know there's 613 laws to adhere to.
What? So when you say mixed fabric, what do you mean?
So say like if you're wearing a shirt that's 50% cotton, 50% spandex.
Yeah, I think some of my clothes are mixed.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to nitpick because I'm going to be honest. There are laws that we need to keep that are sins unto death. But that is a law in the Bible. And the more laws you become aware of, didn't Christ tell you a servant that is aware of his master's will and does it not will be beaten with many stripes? But the servant who's not aware and still breaks their master's will shall be beaten with few stripes. The
Fair
Most High
enough.
God, he winks at your ignorance.
Fair
And as
enough.
you find out his laws, what are you supposed to do?
You're supposed to live by them.
Live by it. It's the
I
same way with your children. If
I
they
mean-
did something you didn't teach them, it's like, well, I can't really fault
Exactly.
you for that.
Yeah.
What you got to say?
I mean, ultimately, that's what sin is, right? Knowing the wrong thing and still choosing to do the wrong. Knowing the right thing and still choosing to do the wrong.
You're close. Sin is the transgression of the law, even if you don't know. So say like, I don't know that it's wrong to kill. As many indicators that it's wrong, I just, for some reason, I'm slow. I don't see any of them. And I lead a life of murder, and I didn't know any better. It's still against God's laws that I do that,
Yeah, that's true.
right? It's in 3. 1 John 3. Yeah, I think it's 3 and 2. Where is it? Hold on, let me go there. So I can go. It's in 3, bro. No, it should be in 1 John. No, it's 3 and 4. So I can. 3 and 4. About to say, man. Ain't that bad.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
Right? So is it possible to sin?
Yes, it is. I mean, yeah.
So the law is not done away with. Because sin is the transgression of God's law. So what if you want to lead a sin-free life? You got to keep the law.
Yes.
And that means all the law that you can, right? Now, again, I'm not a stickler to be like, oh, that's mixed fabric. Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm just letting you know, King, that the Most High God has expectations on you. Now, my question again goes back to my original one. Are those expectations on everybody?
Yes.
Give me Psalms 147, last two verses.
It should be.
Now, guess what? It isn't.
Well, believers in God, yes.
It's only on the Israelites.
Not all the believers.
No. I have a question. If I believe hard enough, can I come live with you and say you my daddy?
No.
No. So why can somebody who's a heathen that God didn't choose say, you know what, I'm going to make God accept me?
So it wouldn't that fall under the new covenant, getting baptized?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. We're going back to it. It's Hebrews 8 and 8. But hear this real quick.
Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So the Most High God didn't give it to them. So how are they supposed to keep a law that God didn't give to them? Now, it should start to make you think when you run into a so-called East Indian man who was an Elamite in the Bible, and he wants to worship Krishna, or he wants to be a Buddhist.
Yeah.
That's fine, because in Deuteronomy 4, did you know God put idols for the heathen? These are placeholders until the kingdom of Christ comes, where every knee shall bow. There's a rank, file, and order to how things are going to transpire. I have a question, King. Say your children are 8 and 10, and there's a fire, and you are at work at night, right? You come home, you see your house engulfed in flames, and your wife is standing outside going, your kids are in the living room, and their 2 friends are upstairs. Who you going to say first?
My kids first.
Your kids first. So what would it look like if we're knee-deep in slavery all over the earth, and Christ comes back going, I'm saving everybody. All lives matter.
Fair enough.
That's a good answer. This is to my camera, because we do record, right?
Okay.
One of the biggest things that we face in opposition from our people is that God is going to save everybody. Well, King, if I'm saving you from a murderer, I can't save the murderer from himself.
That's true.
If you read Luke chapter 1, verse 68 on down, it tells you what salvation is. And part of salvation is to be saved from your enemies and out of the hand of all that hate you. Well, last time I checked, white man hates you plenty, all over the earth.
The only way to help a mad dog is to put him down.
Say it in the mic.
The only way to help a mad dog is to put him down.
And guess what Christ's going to do? Put him down. Before you go, King, we're going to read to you Isaiah 63.
Okay.
I want you to hear this, and this is to my camera. The image that we're given of Christ is a man with his arms wide open. He want to hug and love everybody. When you see who Christ is in the Bible, he is a hardened warrior who has vengeance in his heart to redeem his people. King, are you familiar with a slave owner named Thomas Thistlewood?
No.
He, in the 1700s, he is one of the most oppressive slave masters to ever walk the earth.
Hey, Charlie, you remember me?
Yeah, I remember you.
So, what's up? How y'all doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
Sorry to interrupt, man.
No, you good, you good.
Say hello.
Yeah. If you got time, man, stick around in the area and listen.
I'll chill for a second.
All right, cool. So we're talking about a slave owner named Thomas Thistlewood. He would do something to our brothers picking sugar cane. If you got hungry while you were starving being a slave, and you say, you know what, I'm going to pop a little piece of sugar cane in my mouth to keep going. He would have another slave lacerate your body, put you in salt and lime juice, and then he would have another slave defecate in your mouth and seal it shut. It's called a Derby's dose. And that was just one of the ways that he would torture his slaves. He lived a nice, long life and died peacefully. So who's supposed to pay all that back? How's God supposed to pay these people back? That's just one Edomite, by the way. How about, what's that, the Willie Lynch papers? You ever read those, Willie Lynch doctrine?
No.
When you get home, King, make sure you read that, Willie Lynch. It's about 2-3 long pages. It talks about how the white man created a literal standard operating procedure on how to basically take the biggest buck, is what they would call him, the biggest slave on the plantation. They would chain him to the floor, and they would run a train on him, all the white slave masters. They would rape him in front of his family, his wife, his kids, all the other slaves. Now, I have a question. If you in, say you in boxing class and you see Mike Tyson in his prime get his ass whooped, you gonna get in the ring with that person who whooped Mike Tyson ass?
Probably not.
Probably not. So what if you see the biggest, boldest slave on the plantation get lynched, tarred and feathered, drawn and quartered?
Yeah, you'd probably stay put too.
You gonna put your head down and you gonna go, yes, sir?
Live to fight another day.
Well, or live to die another day, because most of our people didn't fight back at all,
Fair enough. That's
right?
good.
But let's get these scriptures. Give me that Hebrews. Yeah, we gonna get that Hebrews real quick, because I'm gonna show you part of the new covenant is you being able to serve God without fear of your enemies coming in and distracting you, molesting you, destroying you. And it says it by name. For those in our community who are always going, well, it's been left open. It was not. It has a name on this covenant.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
With who? Say it again.
With the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Keep going.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in that day, when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
So that's God saying that he's, because right now we're in exile. How old are you, King? Probably about 30-something?
Nah, I'm 29.
29? Okay. You still looking good for your age. I'm 41, right? You remember those days where you had strife with your parents, and to prove a point, they kicked you out for a few hours? Might have put you on the porch.
No, I just get butt whoopings.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we know that. I mean, shit, come on, bro. But, you know, every so often, whoopings weren't enough. They had to take something from you.
Yeah.
Put you out for a second. Show you, hey, look, it's better in here than it is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear that lock, unlock, although you don't get up and start jumping with joy, you feel elation. You go, whew, damn.
Yes.
They still love me. They still gonna let me back in. Where you think you at, King? You on the porch right now. You think the white man can kill you and God is just here letting it happen? Give me Psalms 50 real quick. I want to show you something. It's all throughout the Bible, and this is to my camera. The reason why, King, you're sitting here going, damn, a lot of this makes sense. Your pastor never read it to you. When you go to church, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've read more scriptures in the little time you spent with us than your pastor will read in a full service. But yet, what does he never forget to do? Can you sow a seed? Oh yeah, pass that collection plate around real quick. Sometimes he passes around 2 and 3 times. But he don't never read this book 2 and 3 times. Why is that? Yeah, oh shit, he'll close the doors. Oh yeah, I've had that happen. A pastor closed the doors on us and demanded $500 more. Wouldn't let us go until we left. That is a common practice in the hood with black pastors. But yet, we're reading more of God's word than your pastor reads, and we don't want to dime from you, King. We want you to comply with God so the white man can get his foot out of our ass. Right? And let me go there, Richard. Right? Because in Psalms, it talks about how the heathen think that God is on their side. Start at 16. Because it's been so long that we've been enslaved, they think God is with it. Check this out.
Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee? When thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Now, there's a little more. So all these different things. When you go to China, did you know they got a word for nigger over in China?
They got one everywhere.
Everywhere. Who spread that word around here? It wasn't us. It's the same people put you in slavery, King.
But we keep it going though.
No, but we keep it going because we don't know nothing else, King.
Nah, we could do better. We got
I
to
agree
take some
with you.
we got to take some accountability on our part.
But here's the thing, your accountability is coming back to your heritage and knowing you're an Israelite. Because if you're Jamaican, what does Jamaica mean? Wood and water. Are you a wood watering? That's the same thing with being an American. America was named after an Italian navigator named Amerigo Vespucci. I'm no more American than you are Jamaican, King. You are an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Keep going.
Verse 21. These things hast thou done and kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver.
So because God didn't immediately recompense these devils for what they did to us in slavery, they think that, oh, God loves everybody now. No, it all has to happen according to prophecy. Remember when Christ said, have I come to set fire? What if it already be kindled? When Yahushua, that's his real name, when Yahushua returns, this world is going to be in the worst state that it's ever been in. Give me Daniel 12:1. You watch anime at all?
No.
Cartoons, anything? You like movies, Marvel, comics?
I got kids in the house to take care of.
Okay, you got man stuff to do.
You know, Neon Evangelion?
Yeah.
That shit's all Kabbalah based, bro. It's just wild.
I'm
I just learned, though. But I learned that.
gonna tell you, brother. I can show you Energy Blast in Habakkuk 3. You know, you see Street Fighter throwing fireballs, Dragon Ball Z throwing fireballs. That's it. They get that from the Bible. All of it comes from the Bible. When you look at the Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z, the more they're afflicted, the stronger they get. Did you know that's an Exodus? The more they afflicted them, the more they grew. When we got put in slavery, we were building the pyramids. We went into Egypt 70 souls, Jacob and his sons. Right? And we came out in exceeding multitude that couldn't be numbered. How does that happen while a people are in slavery? The Most High God having his hand on them, protecting them, multiplying them. It's the same way now when you look at somebody like Usain Bolt. Well, where does his forefathers go back to? Slaves. The more they afflict you, king, the stronger you get. That's the Bible, right? But go ahead and get that real quick.
Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
So this is talking about a period of time spoken of in Jeremiah 30, Jacob's trouble. A time like no other. The time that you're about to go into right now. Are you familiar with what's happening in Gary, Indiana right now? They haven't had power for 8 days after a storm and a tornado came through. It's a majority black city. You know, like when you see after a tornado or something like that, you see everybody with their Caterpillar tractors and the chainsaws. That's what white folks live. Where you live, they like, yeah, we'll get around to y'all. It's been 8 days, King. Look it up when you get home. Look that up as well. Gary, Indiana, darkness. People are literally, it's so dark, people are like, yo, I've never seen this shit. Check this out. And they're putting their camera on the skyline, and it's pitch black.
They have the power and resources to make it happen overnight. They don't want to do that.
Or they can do something.
They could do something.
Yeah, like even if it's just put flares, give generators, something. In the center of town, here's an area you can go to feel safe. Instead, the white man is like, hey.
They're black.
Yeah, if you're black or Hispanic, they're like, yo, fix your own shit. But see, we're just trying to tell you that the Most High God has chosen you, King, despite how the world treats you. And the new covenant is for you. And if the new covenant is for you, then how is that new covenant signed and sealed? Who put the John Hancock at the bottom of that new covenant? Who signed it to put it in action? Even if it's been deferred and it's not been enacted yet. Who made it official? Christ did.
Yeah.
You know where to find that in the Bible? Go to Hebrews 9. Because I want to show you before you leave, Christ only shed his blood for the Israelites. Are you aware of that? Let's get it. And this is to my camera. Why do you think these heathen hate you so much? Really think about it for a second. What did so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians do that is so terrible where the white man has waged a 500-year campaign to keep you in slavery? Now, I'm going to answer with the Bible. Remember Jacob and Esau? Why did Esau hate Jacob? Because of the blessing. It's not more complicated than that. And to all you niggas talking about we about to do a march and a cookout, and we gonna go hand in hand to my ebony and ivory, all that shit ain't gonna work. We've been trying it. It don't work. Yeah, Sirach 12 and 10 in the Bible tells you never trust thine enemy. Never. I'll go ahead and get it real quick. When I got you. Yeah, go to 9 and I believe it's 13. Let's go to 9 and 13. Yeah.
Hebrews chapter 9, verse 13. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctifieth to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament.
Hold on. So that's where he signed in blood, right? His sacrifice and the spilling of his blood was how the New Testament is enacted.
Yeah.
The word testament means covenant, right? Keep going.
He is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
Read that part again. The redemption of, and go
For the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament.
Hold on. Who was under the first covenant?
The Israelites.
The Israelites. Now, how did we get separated from our God? We started serving idols and sinning. Sinning is the beginning of when you depart from God. So, who did Christ come to reconcile back and graft back into the tree of righteousness so that we could be with God again? The Israelites. And the new covenant is going to be the framework of what we're governed under in the kingdom of Christ. That's not to say everybody else ain't going to be there, but we have a more intimate relationship with God because he chose us. You know that part in the Bible where it says the saints shall judge the earth in 1 Corinthians? Well, why would the saints need to judge the earth if God is going to have everybody on the same level playing field? If your son came home and he said, Daddy, I'm having trouble with algebra. I'm having a lot of issues. Do you just go, you know what, son? You'll get it. Do better. No. You have to evaluate, assess, and then assist. And you have to instruct. And for the places where your son is just not doing his part, you have to discipline. What do you think God's doing us? You're about to have to judge the earth, King. Are you in the state to judge the earth right now, King? No. What do you know about sovereignty?
Sovereignty?
Sovereignty. Self-governance of a nation. How about providence?
Yeah, pretty much what? Residing over a nation?
Well, not just presiding over a nation, but having a... Look up that word providence for me. That'll explain it way better than I can. But sovereignty and providence is what you need in order to govern a nation, to operate as a nation, and to have pride in your nation. That's one of the reasons why the so-called black man here in America, we're the most lost of all the tribes. Because you as a so-called Jamaican man, as dysfunctional as Jamaica might be, you can still go back, and you can talk to your people, and y'all can strategize. Brother, as bad as Mexico might be, because you are Mexican, correct? You can still go back. Even though y'all got a Jewish white woman presiding over Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, which is crazy. But you can still go back and be around your people and come up with solutions. Where the black man gonna go? Where the white man tell him to go, because we ain't got nowhere to go.
That's the first order of duty, right? Starting within your family and then just going from there, right?
The Bible says, he who is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? So if you don't have any idea how to improve the lot of yourself, how can you improve the lot of anybody else?
Yeah.
Right? No, just get the, yeah, just get it.
Providence, divine guidance or care. God conceived as the power sustaining and guiding human destiny, or the quality or state of being provident.
A good example of getting a taste of what providence is, read the preface or the foreword to the 1611 KJV. And it's King James basically giving commentary about why he had the Bible commissioned. Why he commissioned the 70 Masoretes to go through the Masoretic text, the Latin Vulgate, the Septuagint, and come up with the canon of the Bible. That's providence. And he talks about how he was ordained by God to do it. Now, if you know that King James is this guy in the middle, that's a black man. Right? That guy right there in the middle, that's a black man. If you don't believe me, that's his grandson right there. His nickname is Black Boy. The guy with the flamboyant hair on the side, looking beautiful, right? That's King Charles II, his grandson. Right? Now, when you go to England, Scotland, France, hell, when you go to Lithuania, when you go to Norway, you think it's all white folks. But guess who used to rule in those lands? You did. Who do you think spoke Gaelic, King? The language of the Scots and the Irish. Who speaks patois today?
Jamaica.
You?
Mm-hmm.
You ever hear Gaelic? When you go home, compare them. They're phonetically identical. You know why? Because Gaelic didn't disappear. The people who spoke it went into slavery by a man named Oliver Cromwell. I have a question. Where are all these white Europeans who got deported from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and France, and England, and they went to the west coast of Africa and to the Caribbean? They don't exist. Because guess what? They were black, and it was you. Why do you think you have Scottish and Irish last names? MacLeod, McGovern, all those different names. You ever read those slave manifests that they still have from the slave ships?
No.
The name I have now is on those slave manifests. It's French. It means fish, like the bird. But there's a lot of ways you could say it. Pinson with a C, C-E, Pinsett, Montpinsent, all these different ways. But guess what? My name goes back to France. But a white man will tell me I had a white slave master and he had to rename me. But where did the white man come from? He came out of the cave with no spoken language. So how does he have my name and he's the one who didn't have a language and a history and ID? That's why we're out here, King, because we got to bring you back to your heritage. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. And this is to my camera. If you don't know who you were in the past, how can you determine your future? And now you see why we're lost. Some of us want to go left, some of us want to go right, some of us want to stay right where we're at. All of them are wrong answers. We've tried everything, King, except for doing what God told us to do. And as a result, we're destroyed. Check this out.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine inheritance that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
You notice, for us to serve our enemies, God had to discontinue us from our heritage. I have a question, King. Is it easier to control a group of people who know who they are and know they need to get free? Or is it easier to control a group of people who don't know who they are and think they're at home?
Yeah, the ones in ignorance is easier to
One in
control.
ignorance. Yep, they break you down before they build you up. And I'm a living testament to this. The moment that I got out of boot camp, I started thinking again. And I was like, I got to get out of here. They had me so brainwashed, I was trying to join Special Forces. I was trying to join SEER to be a so-called survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. You know that, right? Those are the motherfuckers who had war all the time. And I had to ask myself, am I willing to kill for the white man like that? And it was an obvious answer. Hell no. Why would I kill for the people who killing me? But if you discontinue from your heritage, you'll kill for anybody.
Yeah.
Give me Hosea 4 and 6. You ever hear of the Hebrew Israelites, King? No? Okay. Well, you heard of them today. That's who we are. That's who you are. That's who you are.
You gotta do some broadcast, bro, for real.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you.
Live, because you're like applying like hermeneutics to this whole thing, and that's important. Yeah.
I agree with you, but who runs the platforms?
You think you'll be censored?
Yeah,
I'm shadow banned right now, King. I got a strike for hate speech on my channel, so if I get anything, they gonna turn my shit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is it hateful for me to tell you what God actually said? No. If you burn down my house, King, am I a villain because you said you burned down my house and I'm telling the world what you did?
No.
No. As a matter of fact, I'm a truth teller. But if you operate a world of lies, then a truth teller is persona non grata. That's the person that you brand as most not important. That's the person that you put at the bottom of the earth. You take away every megaphone, platform, podcast. You ain't telling nobody. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again type shit. Buffalo Bill got you down in a pit. And guess where the Bible says the Israelites are at, King? At the bottom of the pit. In a trap. Before we get that, give me Isaiah 42:22. Again, while we're doing this, King, think to yourself, why isn't your pastor saying this? Why? You got to teach your children who they are. Before you stopped to talk to us, King, I'm sure it was pretty solid. I got Jamaican children. I'm going to tell them that they're Jamaican. But who named Jamaica? It was actually the Spanish. It wasn't even the French. Wasn't there the Spanish-French wars down in the Caribbean?
Columbus stopped there first.
Yeah. So how are you going to give your children the legacy that your slave master gave you? And I'll tell you why he did it. Same reason my parents did it to me.
It's all you know.
It's all you know. But when you're confronted with the truth, what are you supposed to do with the lie?
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. And that's all we're asking you to do. Change your mind. Now you cook it with good grease, like the brother said. You know that good grease in that coffee can that your grandmother done had for about 30 years? Food don't even taste the same when you don't use it. But you think life plays out the same when you don't use the wisdom of God?
It doesn't.
It doesn't. As a matter of fact, look around you. Did you know it's a curse to be walking on this concrete and iron? It's a curse. It's lit. I know we pulling a lot. Hold that. Get me Deuteronomy 28. I want to show you everything that irks you in the morning when you wake up. You go, damn, I would love to just sit on some dirt, put my toes in the grass.
Yeah, and ground yourself.
And ground yourself.
Yeah.
But
I still walk around barefooted for that reason.
And you know what? They've already proven scientifically it rejuvenates your body. But I want to show you why you can't do that. Get me verse 23. Check this out.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 23.
The Bible is weird, man. Keep going.
And, and thy heaven that is over thee, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed.
What that just say? The heaven that is over thy head shall be brass. What are these buildings made out of? Iron, brass,
Concrete.
concrete. What's the ground you walking on?
Concrete.
What's in that concrete? Rebar. What's that rebar made out of?
Iron.
Iron. Tell me where God lied. And because your pastor don't read this, we're trying to make lemon or lemonade out of nothing but lemons. God didn't tell you to make lemonade out of lemons. He told you to repent. That's what he told you to do. A lot of our people think if I'm just useful enough, they'll treat me better than my brethren. Even if they do, to what gain is that? You ever been on a job and you asking like, man, how the hell did this person become my manager? Might be another black or Hispanic. You like, man, nigga, you fucking somebody up here. You gotta be. But they come to find out, they are. All your musicians, your sports athletes. How do you think they getting in the position they getting in? Really think about it. You see that video of Beyonce, 19 years old, sitting on that record exec's lap, talking to Michael Jackson. She leaning over his shoulder like the world was about to open up for her. You know why? Because she knows that I've already put my dues in. If they need me to open my legs, they open. If they need me to be gay, I'm gay. I'll do whatever it takes. You've heard blacks and Hispanics who have that attitude, whatever it takes to get the bag. And they mean it too.
Yeah, I'm anti that, and I get a lot of flack for that. I just want to stay true.
Well, why do you think Christ was hated? Because the deeds of the world at large were evil. And he was pointing it out. So why do you think when you stand up for what's right, all of a sudden you become a pariah?
Now you're alienated.
Yeah, you get alienated and ostracized.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can answer that question with another question. When did the world redeem its ways? When did it change? It never did. When did the righteous come in charge of the world? They never
It
did.
is.
Go to Sirach 10 and 1. I know we hold a lot. And the reason why we're going to the Bible with all these things, King, I'm trying to show you everything that you tackle in this life, you got to reference the book.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't reference the guide to get through it, how are you going to do a good job? If me and you were playing Monopoly and I know all the rules and you don't, who going to win?
Yeah.
Me. And how do you know if I'm cheating?
Because if I know the rules, I know you're cheating.
But if you don't, remember when you was a little kid and somebody said, I'm the banker? Remember the parking fund?
Yeah.
Yeah, and guess where that is in the rules? Nowhere. And then you wonder why some nigga got $1 million and you already bankrupt.
Mine in this pocket.
Just, and here's the thing, it's usually somebody who laughing at you. Your parents, older cousin. Because they know once you find the rules out, we ain't gonna play Monopoly no more. We gonna go somewhere else, do something else, where I can do the same shit. Hey, look, this is to my camera. Niggas are the same everywhere. Whether you black, Caribbean, Guyanese, we do the same shit, bro. Same shit. Mexican, y'all do the same shit. You ever work a carpentry job with Mexicans and you don't know how to do carpentry? You get roasted all day long. And then once you figure everything out, it's cool. But until then, you getting, they on your helmet, man. But that's what it's supposed to be like. There are penalties to being ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's right. Yeah, 10-1.
Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people.
An unwise king does what?
An unwise king destroyeth his people.
Finish it out.
But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
So the Most High God allows fools to come into power and charge, however you want to phrase it, when he's about to bring a nation down. Are you familiar with Grecian history, Alexander the Greek?
To some
right?
extent, yeah.
You don't need to know too much, right? But he only ruled for 12 years. He ruled just long enough to conquer all the nations that he was going to conquer. And then he fell sick and died. And then all his generals and their sons put crowns on their head. And you already know, if you got somebody who's terrible at the top, the people underneath him are
Yes.
worse. Right? That's why what's going on with Trump, what do you think's going to happen when he's not in charge no more?
Oh, we know. I know.
It's going to get that
Yes.
much worse. So what we're trying to tell you, King, is that this world is being ran by the Most High. There's a design to everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? Proverbs 21:1 says that essentially the heart of a king is in the hand of the Lord. And like the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You ever have somebody in charge, they're doing stuff, you're like, yo, that don't even make sense. Like for your own personal gain. But then it's like, oh, okay, well, if he didn't do that, X, Y, and Z wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's where we're at, King. And we're at the end of America. That's why now, as you see people walking around trying to be at ease and comfortable in America, you got to understand, this place is about to literally self-destruct. And did you know the Bible says that all men are going to return to their own nation? It does. Give me Isaiah 13:13. See, and here's the thing. We're scattered everywhere. So I understand they might look Chinese or Asian, but guess what? The Bible says that we're scattered to Asia.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the Limin people are? Limin? The black-headed people?
No.
You know all those Buddhists over in the Shaolin monks? Who you think they were? Us. Look up the Bodhidharma. If you can remember all the stuff that I say, I'm going to have a video on YouTube. I'll make sure you have our channel before you leave. The Bodhidharma was a man from southern India called a Siddhi person. Siddhis. The Siddhis are the Bantu descendant peoples taken into India via the Indian Ocean slave trade. They're just niggas in India who are oppressed over there.
Okay.
And we were the ones coming up with kung fu, coming up with the music that they have for their national anthem today. They play our shit. Same way they play our shit all over the earth. The Bible says we're the salt of the earth, King. Remember Christ said that? You're the salt of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You're the light of the world. You think he was talking to everybody when he said that? You think the white man can dance like you can? You don't have to say it. Your response tell me everything. He can't. He can't. He just can't. And bro, guess what? It's not wrong of you to admit that.
Right back.
No, you good, King. We'll be here. It's not wrong of you to admit what God put his effort into creating. That would be like if you built a car and you spent 20 years making sure it was detailed and perfect, and I'm talking about immaculate in every way, and I show up and go, it's all right. You're going to be like, nigga, no. You don't see this trim right here, nigga? Look at this engine, man. You hear that, bro? Hold on, let me get in and drive it real quick. Maybe you think it don't drive like it should drive.
Check out the pinstripe. I hand painted that myself.
Yeah, check out the decals and all the pinstripes. I did all that by hand. You think God didn't do that? In Ezekiel 16, it literally talks about how God, he found us and he likens us to an infant covered in blood, being freshly born and abandoned. And him picking us up, cleaning us up, putting jewels and raising us as his own daughter, just for us to go out and play the whore. Can you imagine that? You found a child and you did everything you could to make them nobility, and then they go, thanks, I'm taking all my riches and I'm going to the trap house. You can't even put your anger into words.
Yeah.
And now you see how the Most High God can put you in slavery, where you got a white man whipping your back in, and when he get tired, he give the whip to another nigga to whip your back in. And that's after he done raped your wife, he done raped your kids, hell, he done raped you. Before you go, I don't want to leave it on the Most High God just punished us. Are you familiar with regeneration?
In what context?
Essentially, when you die, your spirit returns to God, and then you're reborn.
Yes.
Okay, you know where to find it.
In Revelation, right?
Well, actually, you're not wrong. Revelation 1 and 7. All eyes shall see him, even those which pierced him. Well, how is a 2,000-year-old Roman soldier still walking around? Obviously not. Regeneration. But it's in more detail in 2 Ezra 14:34. Right? Go get it, but we'll be holding. Yeah, give me that 13:13. Yeah, I know we hold on. Let's knock him down.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased robe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
Actually, no, read that extra part. Yeah, read that.
Verse 15, every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
So those of our people who want to conjoin themselves onto the heathen, you've seen a black man where he be in a sea of white people. He the only black face. They're cheesing and shit, buck dancing and grinning. The Bible says that he's going to die for that. When America is going through Jacob's trouble, as we described, the death throes of America, who do you think the white man going to blame for all that? You? If it weren't for these niggers, then we'd be doing a lot better. You hear him say that now. Man, you niggers are so violent. Your music is what's degenerating these kids. That's where the moral decay is. It's your influence. Who signs our checks when we're a multi-million-dollar artist again?
I mean, they control the media. So
They control the media. King, before you go, let's get that second Ezra real quick.
Good point for Isaiah 42:22.
Yeah, get that real quick.
It's Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
That's it?
Verse 23, who among you?
No, that's it. So the Bible says that we would literally be the people thrown in prison. Again, I want to get regeneration. Just hang with me for 2 more minutes. Get that second Ezra 14:34. That was 4 and 6. It's our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Same thing as Jeremiah 17. Yeah, second Ezra 14:34. Before you go, I want to take away the fear of death so you can serve God without worrying about, what if the white man put me in prison, all this other shit. Brother, that's going to happen. Christ told you that you're going to be hated of all men for his sake. You thought that was just hyperbolic speech? Because if you're serving God the way you're supposed to serve God, aren't people going to hate you for it?
Your wife calling me. Yeah,
I know,
right.
I know.
You're
As
right.
you go, hear this. All right, King.
Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 34. Therefore, so be that you will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, he shall be kept alive, and after death he shall obtain mercy. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
So you die, your spirit returns to God, and then you live again. Same gender, same tribe. You might look different because you are who your father is. If you have a child with a white woman, obviously it looks more like her. If he has another child with another white woman, so on and so forth, eventually you have white-looking black people walking around.
Fair enough.
Right? But King, just know this, you're an Israelite, keep the commandments. Right? Our YouTube channel is Megamain8, Megamaine8. I'll give it to you again. I appreciate you listening, man, because a lot of times, as soon as we see so-called black folks, man, we're naturally kings. So we don't like being talked to be instructed. You know what I'm saying?
Megamain 8.
Yeah, Megamayne, number 8. Megamain8. What's your name, King? Stephen. I'm Haya El, as in Haya El. Megamain8, and this is my brother Amon.
Sure it's not blocked?
Oh, I told you I'm Shadow Band. Let me see it, King. I'll find it for you. Megamain8. 8. Number 8. That's me. Okay. Yeah, I got you. All right, King.
Be safe.
Be safe, man. Your God's name is Yahweh. Yahweh means he who is or he who exists. And his son's name is Yahweh Shah. Let me tell you, it feels good to talk to Southern Kingdom. One, because we're Southern Kingdom ourselves, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And I don't know if you see that. We got a little dragonfly visitor. He's checking out our stuff. You see him? Yeah. See, again, man, I always try to tell our people, if you just look at how nature, they react to this word, it tells you need to listen to this. I can't tell you how many dogs that have walked by, and they dog plant all 4 paws, like I'm not moving. I had one dog lay on the ground. Owner had to drag the damn dog. While I'm telling them, your ass need to be hearing this word. That's why in the book of Proverbs, it says, if you want to learn how to work hard, consider the ant, thou sluggard. You're supposed to be as hardworking as an ant in the eyes of God. God should always see you endeavoring to do more and more according to his will. But see, but you got to remember that donkey was being ridden by a heathen. Yeah, Balaam the seer. That's why when the Most High God opened the mouth of that donkey to speak, he was like, man, I'm saving your life. Why you keep hitting me, man? And then the angel was like, yo, if he had taken one more step, I was going to kill both of you. It's like, so you really owe that animal an apology. And see, that's why the Bible says that the righteous consider the life of their beasts, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. They don't even consider the life of their livestock. They're like, yo, if I can get milk out of this cow in a concentration camp, what's the difference? If I could slaughter these pigs on this damn murder train where the pigs are crying and shit. Did you see that video I sent you with how they were killing them pigs? To those of y'all who are not aware of the slaughter process here in Babylon, that's why you're not aware of why you have all these damn psychological problems, anxiety. You have all these depression issues. It's because of the chemicals in the meat that you're eating. These animals are literally being murdered. They're not just being slaughtered. Yeah, they're getting beaten, kicked, abused, and then they're watching their brethren get their throats slit and then dunked in hot water over and over until they drown. That's why when we say stuff like this, man, people look at us like, man, you niggas are crazy. It's like, bro, like, all we're doing is we're just telling you what's going on in this world, and we're filtering it through the scripture. And that's it. But let's get on this lesson, right? We didn't even touch the lesson today, right? Because ironically, this lesson is called A Word of Warning to the Wayward. What's going on in Gary, Indiana should have everybody's attention right now. right? Them people not having power for 8 days and counting is going to become the norm throughout America. And I don't know if y'all have been taking stock of how many grid failures have been popping up. They've been popping up all across America. Oh, and they just had a tornado hit a city in Rhode Island. Yeah, places where there are never tornadoes and strong storms. The Most High God is tearing this place apart. Give me Isaiah 29 real quick. And for those of y'all who are saying, well, that's just a storm. God ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. Okay. Give me a 29 and 6.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire.
Right? So the Most High God, when he visits you, he has a distinct calling call.
But I do want to point out, I mean, I know there's like government tincturing too, right? Tinkering with.
Definitely.
So like, I think like some discernment also, you know what I mean? Like,
I want to show you something. Give me deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword, in Psalms. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about weather modification by
like,
the so-called white man.
Because I agree, it's like that, this is God, but it's like, wait, well, is that God or is that them? Right? You know what I mean? So that's like kind of like.
Let me give you some clarification on that, King. Yeah. I have a question. If I'm your manager, when the district manager comes through, does he say, y'all did a good job, or does he point at me and go, you did a good job? The latter. He points at me and goes, you did a great job.
Yeah.
Well, who created the white man to be evil? God did. So if he's doing wickedness, you got to understand the Most High God, he's the one who sanctioned that behavior, those events. For sure. Check this out.
Psalms chapter 17, verse 13.
Check it out.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
So the wicked is the sword of God.
Wait, so is that to say that like you know these institutions, these government lackeys, like they're evil? Is that something that's like divinely ordained, or is it?
Yes.
So we're pro that, I guess.
No, we're not pro for those things.
Okay.
But explaining how God is allowing it to happen, yeah, how he works. The Most High God is the one who orchestrates good and evil. Now I'll show it to you. Give me Amos 3 and 6. Oh, okay, get it if you can, but get that for me real quick. Yeah, 3 and 6. All right, come. Check this out.
Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?
Give me Isaiah 45 and 7. So shall there be evil in a city and God didn't do it? No, God did it. I have a question. Is there anything on the planet that can overpower the Most High God and what he wants to do? No. So if evil is being done, obviously the Most High God is with it on some level.
So how should we reason from then? Like, you know what I mean? Like if my boss screws everybody on the floor at the job site, what should be my position then?
Your position should be to serve God and to allow God to plead your cause. You ever have somebody who, a boss has been at the job being wicked for like 10, 20 years, but he runs into that one employee, and for some reason, when he does what always works, it doesn't work anymore. Now all of a sudden, cameras are in his face. People are like, hey, why are you doing that? He's like, wait, what do you mean, why am I doing what? I've been doing this. That's how the Most High God receives glory. When you're into anime and stuff like that, if you have a hero that has never slayed a major villain, is he really a hero? No. Well, how about a villain who hasn't done any villainy?
Yeah. Sure.
So when it comes to the Most High God, he's weaving a story. He's like a director. We're the characters on stage.
So we should just roll with it then? Is that what
Well, no, you're supposed to follow God. So as long as your boss isn't telling you to do anything that's against God, and it's all according to the job, just do your job. But if he's like, say like, you want to keep the Sabbath, according to how it's written in the Bible, right? Say you want to do Friday night, Saturday night, Sabbath. And you know for religious reasons, you can request a day off of work every week. And he can make that adjustment. He has to by law. If he all of a sudden wants to oppose you, that's when you can go above his head. Because he's standing before God, or standing in opposition of God's law. But what if he's saying, hey, look, you know, I don't want you to have your cell phone at your desk, even though he lets everybody else have theirs.
Yeah, yeah.
Eventually, the Most High God will requite him for what he does. But is that something that you need to try to turn the whole table over for? No.
So is like from like a Marxian analysis, is workplace contradiction or contradiction in general something that the workers should still follow or not? It's like the work of God, or should we question it? Should we resist when you feel contradicted or alienated, like on a job site or anywhere?
I'm going to tell you, seek out every legal and logical method of recourse that you have available to you. Whether it's the Better Business Bureau, the Labor Department, all these different places where you can make complaints.
Yeah.
Right? There are channels for recourse that are all around you. But you got to remember, when you take those channels, a lot of times you're going to get recourse all the same.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why Christ tells you to agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way. Because sometimes the fight ain't worth the fight. I remember I was on my way to work one morning and I refused to sign a speeding ticket. Well, if you don't sign the speeding ticket, you have to go to jail. You have to stand before the magistrate. That's the law of the land. I didn't know that, so I refused to sign the ticket and I spent the day in jail.
So that happened to you, right?
Yeah.
Were you okay with that, or did you like, you know what, this is the work? Like,
Well, I mean, I wasn't okay with it, but at the same...
not necessarily okay, but it's like, all right, this is like God's doing essentially, or no?
Well, yeah, because guess what? It's not... So just because you're being punished on one end doesn't mean you're not being punished for something else.
Right.
I used to smoke a lot of weed. You're not supposed to smoke weed according to the Bible. You're not supposed to, deface your temple, right? So if you want to use marijuana, you cook it and you eat it. It's an herb, right? And you already know, you cook it in the oven 250 for 30 minutes, it does the same thing if you smoke it. So you have the lawful way to use it versus the unlawful way to use it. So what if I'm using it unlawfully and nothing's happening to me? Well, guess what? Just because the world don't do nothing to me don't mean God ain't gonna do something. You ever get caught up where it's like, man, why is the cops picking on me? Why does it seem like they're laser focused on me? But if you go through and see what laws of God you're breaking, it becomes all the more apparent why the Most High God has them on your helmet. Give me Romans 13. What you want, honey? Yeah, get that real quick. 45 and 7. 45 and 7. Check this out real quick.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
I who?
I, the Lord, do all these things.
God doesn't do evil.
I, the Lord, do all these things.
Yeah, get that shit. Yeah. That's talking about. So, hold on, let me frame it. So, not only does God create good and evil, did you know God creates weapons? Nuclear weapons? Did you know that? He inspired the people who made nuclear weapons to make them. Check it out.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
I think in the Bhagavad Gita, that's like war. War is like the highest form of like spiritual duty or something like that. Like that's like the highest morality or whatever. I forgot how to interpret it. But
I'm going to tell you, I don't doubt it. And you know why? Because when you're talking about war, you're dealing in life and death.
yeah.
You know who personally presides over the issues of life and death? God. Give me Sirach 41. We're going to come back to Romans 13 real quick. I'm glad you came back. You said your name is Charlie King?
Yeah.
Charlie?
I always walk. I never really see all the what days are out here.
Usually on Saturday, but King, it's been a rough period.
It's been hot, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just hot, but I mean, it's things been going on, in the
Okay.
life that's taken me away from this a little bit.
For sure.
But I want you to hear this, right? Because when you look at what death and life means to us, and how important it is, it's even more important to God. Start at 1.
Sirach chapter 41, verse 1. O death, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that hath nothing to vex him, and that hath prosperity in all things, yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat.
Baby steps. So this is talking about how death is a bitter thing to somebody who has everything to live for. But if you're sick, you're old, life is trash. Death to you is a release. So say like your great-grandparents. They're 90 years old, blind, crippled, can't walk. You think they're like, yo, I can't wait to see another year. No, they're like, yo, how long is this shit gonna take?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Thank you. Dude, man.
Verse 2. O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, and unto him whose strength faileth, that is now in the last age, and is vexed with all things. And to him that despaireth and hath lost patience, fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, and that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
For this is what?
For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
All flesh has been appointed to live and to die. Keep going.
And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High?
So for those who are like, man, people should live forever, that means you're against God. What is the white man trying to do right now? Trying to find a way to live forever.
Dude. Yeah. That's all. That's like one of the secrets of Freemasonry. How to live forever.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Do you think they're going to overpower God and figure a way to live forever? No. And I have to speak on this real quick. If you found a way to live forever, you would become a cancer to the universe. Because not only are you going to live forever, aren't you going to let your kids live forever? And their kids, and their kids. Last time I checked, that's how cancer operates.
Yeah.
It proliferates until it kills the host. And wouldn't you know it, parasitics kills cancer. Why do you think when they biopsy a tumor, it metastasizes? It responds like a parasite. It might be a parasite made from your body, but it's parasitic all the same.
Yeah.
But the people who are over you have a parasitic mindset. Not only do they want to rule forever, and they want to live forever.
So, kind of odd, but similar topic.
Sure.
Real quick, going back to our discussion earlier about the white man. May sound like a dumb question, but what is your thoughts on the contradiction of the white man? Especially how he's changed the narrative of everything. But
Sure.
But all across all forms of life.
My outlook on him is that he has gone above and beyond for his role as the wicked on the earth.
So we're supposed to resist this. We're not supposed to say like this is the work of God, right?
You are supposed to resist according to keeping the commandments. So if he tells you to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, that's when you resist, even if it means dying. As a matter of fact, we're not going to just talk about it. Go to 2 Maccabees chapter 7. Actually, go to 6. That's a bit more expedient. And the reason why I'm picking the topic of eating pork, because that seems like a very small infraction, right?
I think I'm asking this because like there's the people who are saying, oh, everything is the work of God, but it's like kind of passive. They'll let anything happen.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're doing, right?
No.
Okay, right.
So say like if I saw you and you had a cop who was kneeing on your neck, right? George Floyd, right?
Right.
It is in the commandments that I'm not supposed to stand in the blood of my brother. So I have to come help you. Even if it means we both die. I have to get involved, have to interfere. Right? There are points where the Most High God is with you, and then there are points where it's like, yo, this is part of your penance for breaking my commandments.
I think you know the word apocrypha, right?
Yeah. The hidden books.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of like manifestations that come from apocryphic writings, and it's like that's not in any of the canonical texts. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of confusing. That's like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, then, so, hey, what's up, King? Oh no, be careful, man.
God bless you guys.
God bless you as
Stay
well, King.
hydrated.
Yes, sir. You need some water?
No, I got some right now.
All praise, right? That's another brother from the tribe of Issachar.
Oh hell yeah.
And he working. That's what Issachar do. He who was hired, right? But when it comes to this account with pork seems to be a very small infraction that people are like, well, why would God care about you eating pork? Well, he told you not to eat it. That's part of his law. So obviously he cares enough to tell you not to eat it. Let's see how much our people resisted eating pork, even if it meant them dying, right? So get me 2 Maccabees 6, and start at 18. Yes, sir.
2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
So rather than besmirch his reputation with his God, he said, fuck that, kill me. I'm not even going to eat pork. And I want you to keep going, King. They tried, because the people administering the ritual, the Feast of Bacchus is what they were being forced to keep, right? Which is Mardi Gras, for those of y'all who don't know. That's the Feast of Bacchus. But he refused to eat swine outright. But they tried to basically go, hey, it's not really pork, it's beef, just eat it anyway. Let's see what he does.
Verse 20. As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king, that in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
So it's like I said, the people who are administering the rite and the ritual, they were Israelites who had already sold out. And they're like, hey man, we're not really eating pork in here. We're just making it look like we're eating pork and getting down to get down. Let's see what the old man had to say to them.
Verse 23. But he began to consider discreetly, and as he became his age, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by God. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave.
That's all. So even though they wanted to put on the appearance of him eating pork when he wasn't, he said, I'm not even going to sully my reputation among my people and convince them that what I'm doing is right. Kill him. Our people used to be willing to die, and I'm talking about being tortured to death, rather than be homosexual like the white man would force you to be, or to force you to give your kids up as gator bait, or even to change your name. Your name is Toby. You've seen that in Roots. The black man being whipped, and the white man going, your name is Toby. And eventually he goes, my name is Toby. Our people used to die under the whip all the time. And I say this to my camera all the time. Most of us, you, me, this brother here, we're the sons of coons. The people who gave in, who refused to stand up for their God, who refused to lay their life down for their people. We are the children of coons. That's why knowing that regeneration is in the Bible is important. Because somebody like Che Guevara, his spirit is back. Somebody like Nat Turner, his spirit is back here. The question is, who are you? And I ask that in all sincerity and certainty. Who are you? Because you're going to either be righteous or wicked. Which one are you? Well, according to what law? Because if you count yourself among the righteous, what is righteousness in the eyes of God? Give me Deuteronomy 6:25. And we're going to get that Romans 13. I didn't forget. Because I'm going to show you, and this is more to my camera because you seem to know a lot of this intuitively. But I'm trying to show you in the Bible how our forefathers were navigating this body of knowledge and wisdom, right?
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as he hath commanded us.
So righteousness in the eyes of God is keeping his commandments. What if you volunteer at soup kitchens and you feed the homeless and you're the nicest person on the planet? Does that mean God views you as righteous? No. Because where in the Bible does God require you to volunteer at the animal shelter? Where does it say, thou shalt volunteer at the soup kitchen?
I mean, I'm not going yet.
Well, it don't say it.
You don't say it, right?
Now, it does say to give alms and to help the poor. That's not to say it has no, validity in the Bible, right? Because alms covers a multitude of sins. For those of y'all who don't know what an alm is, it's a donation or a charitable giving, right? But what if you're charitable to people who are evil? You remember that earthquake that happened down in Haiti? Red Cross was caught trying to steal all them kids. The Clinton Foundation. What if you're charitable and you give money to them? Now you see why the Most High God, he put stipulations on what it means to be righteous. And that means to keep his commandments. Right? Give me that Romans 13 real quick. Because the discussion about what if you're being governed by wicked people. What you have to understand is just because they're wicked doesn't mean you have to be. The Bible tells you follow not a multitude to do evil. Right? So if it means standing in opposition to God's word, you're supposed to say no. But you're also supposed to be doing things that pretty much prevent you from being in that position.
So obviously there can't be an intuitive, visceral, will to what's right or wrong. It has to be according to.
Well,
because there's people like, oh, I feel this is morally right.
So the Bible says that Israelites have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. So a lot of times when you have an innate feeling on what's right and wrong, a lot of times you're more right than you are wrong.
Right.
But the thing is, you're never flawless, right? Because if I were to tell you, well, be charitable. Okay, well, you could be charitable, but what if you're charitable to somebody who's ultimately an enemy to you?
For sure. Yeah.
So that's where you have to have wisdom to govern that spirit of altruism and charity, right? So, and that's why, if you're dealing with somebody who's not taught and they're showing a lot of good traits, well, let's perfect you. But if you're dealing with somebody who is just outright in the boonies and they're just wrong, they're off the mark completely, that's where you do harsh correction. See what I'm saying? Same endpoint, but different methodologies between the correction. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead and get it real quick. Yeah, start with.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
We're going to keep going, right? So to blacks, Hispanics, and Indians, y'all are the Israelites, right? Y'all are God's chosen people. Keep the commandments, right? We have to put that out there because if you leave it up to the white man, he's going to say, you black or you Mexican? You royalty, sister. Not a queen. The word queen means prostitute. Always remember that. You're a princess. See, and again, that's why I say words are important. The archaic form of queen is Quean. And it means prostitute or consort. Now, what will the white man have our sisters calling themselves? I'm a strong black queen. One, women aren't meant to be strong. You're meant to be wise. One of the things that is happening in the so-called black household right now is that black men and black women are butting heads. Because the black man wants to lead, but he's not sure how because he's lost his heritage. And the black woman is like, well, shit, we'll both lead. Not understanding her position is to support and advise. She's supposed to be his wisdom. And when you hear how wisdom is talked about in the Bible, it's literally likened unto a beautiful woman. A woman with no parallel. But yet, if you have a woman in the house and she's challenging you on everything that you do, she becomes revolting to you. Because she's departing from her role as wisdom. I have a whole lesson I'm preparing about that, right? But that, they passed or whatever. Let's keep going, right?
Verse 4. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain.
If you do evil, what?
But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
So that's what it means to have evil people over you. Long as you serve God, he makes your enemies to be at peace with you. Get that for me. Right? When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh his enemies to be at peace with him. That's how you can swim with sharks if you're put in that situation. And guess what? That's all the more glory to God, because he allowed you to go through tribulation and not be touched. Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace?
That's where I'm at right now. That's why I need help with right now.
Yeah.
Relationship, sure.
But here's the thing, King. You got to learn the commandments so that when you're put into the lion's den, the Most High God can shut the mouths of those lions and you remain untouched. Because what if you're breaking God's commandments and you get put in that position? What's going to happen to you? You're going to get devoured. Most High God keeps the feet of his saints. But what if you're not a saint? You're a wicked person. Well, then guess what? Most High God going to allow you to get what you deserve. And I'm going to say it just like that. Because the Most High God knows the real you, sir. He knows the real me. Remember that thing, regeneration, I talked about? He knows you and your past life and the life before that and the life before that. You like to read it all, King?
Oh, I got like probably 1,200 books.
Okay, you strike me as a very erudite person. You like to read, right? Just because it's chapter 3, does that mean everything that happened in chapters 1 and 2 don't apply?
No.
Obviously not. As a matter of fact, chapter 3 doesn't make sense without chapter 2 and 1.
Yeah, so it was contingent on what happened. What
It-
precedes it, and then proceedingly.
Yeah, it's contiguous, right? I'm not going to lie, King. I love talking to brothers who read because you can use words that give more detail into what you're talking about, right? Your life to life is contiguous in the eyes of God. And he's curating who you are and who you are to become. That's why if you read the book of Daniel, Daniel was told by an angel, you shall stand in your lot at the end of days. So the same lot that Daniel stood in as a prophet of God during the Persians and Media Persian kingdom is the same lot he's going to stand in today if his spirit is back on the earth. That's why it's important to serve God as best as you can, because you never know what God has called you to do. Did you know the Bible says that eventually the Most High God is going to make his children threshing instruments having teeth? He's going to improve his people. We're going to get upgrades. After we read this, I'm going to read that to you. Because you like DBZ, right? You like Dragon Ball, don't you?
It's been a while. That's funny. You say the thing about upgrades. Like, so what's your thought on like the, how do you
Transhumanists and stuff like
Well,
that?
yeah, or yeah, exactly. I mean, 'cause that's essentially an upgrade.
But that's an upgrade on the left-hand side. Because where in the Bible does it tell you to cut your limbs off?
For sure.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What point of upgrade is? I haven't even got there yet, so I'm like, all right, yeah, I don't even know that yet.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, yeah.
What more is on here? Yeah, get that real quick. Check this out.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Better is a little with righteousness than a great revenues without right.
So when your ways please God, he makes sure that you're taken care of. That don't mean that you're going to be rich. Hell, that don't even mean you're going to be well liked. The person who's a stickler for the rules on the job, aren't they the most hated person more times than not? But what did they do wrong? Nothing. All they're doing is following the rules. So when you keep the rules of God, how much more are you going to be hated by everybody who insists on breaking all of God's rules? That's why the brother, I'm glad he read verse 8. It's better to be righteous and have very little than to be wicked and have great revenue and wealth.
What is the Bible, or what's the best thing you can point out about autonomous morality? What do you have in that?
Not for private interpretation. So the brother's going to pull something, right? When it comes to your righteousness, it is not up to you to decide what is right and wrong. God already decided those things. Now, you might have a predilection, right? Or you might have a predisposition toward doing righteous things, right? And that could be because you might have an environment where you're shown not to steal. You might have had something traumatic happen to you to show you that that's not the way. But either way, if you have a system or subset of morality, it needs to be checked, right? You heard me use the term parity check earlier, right? It needs to be parity checked, and that is going to be checked by the Bible. And what doesn't match up, you don't warp your interpretation of the Bible to fit your system of morals.
Yeah.
You change your morals to fit the Bible.
Yeah, the Thomas morality, especially, it's funny, even in emancipatory projects, are all autonomous. And I mean that negatively.
Yeah.
I feel like they produce more harmful effects than anything conducive to what they're trying to aim for. I'm like, you probably shouldn't touch that. You know what I mean? So, you know, there's that notion that you know, if you're not out of community, you're not doing good. But it's like, I'd rather not touch something that is autonomous because I don't want to be complicit with your chaos. I'd rather do it accordingly.
I get what you're saying, but eventually you have to get involved and you have to correct your brethren.
For sure, I'm saying, but not in the communities that are super autonomous. Like, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not doing the work of God.
Now, here's the thing. Now, when it comes to getting involved doesn't mean you jump into the fray and try to, you know, throw your weight around.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm telling you. That is not biblical.
And these people are like, yeah, we're in it, so we got the points. I'm like, I don't see that as points. You're kind of just doing whatever you want to do. And as long as like it seems like it's the right thing to do, it's like that's not always the right thing to do.
But the way to check that is to tell somebody who, especially if they're talking about they're doing it in the name of God.
Right.
Show me in the Bible where you are inspired to do that. I say this to Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians all the time, right? When it comes to your pastor or any spiritual leader that's trying to tell you what God said or what God thinks, prove it. 2 words, prove it. More times than not, you'll see that they can't prove it. And guess what? 1 Thessalonians 5:21 says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. So if it can't be proven out the Bible, I'm not saying to just throw it away, but don't implement it as live policy. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. And that's you said it right there. That's what I'm up against. All these kids out here. You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna tell you though, a lot of times what people implement by way of just self-governance, those are survival mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? If you live in the projects, you're doing what you gotta do to survive. The law of the jungle, dog eat dog, all that shit, cutthroat. I mean, shit, if you grow up in an area where if you ain't willing to scrape and scrounge to get a bite to eat, you don't eat. So a lot of times we come up with these systems of morality that are warped and deranged only because that's what helps us survive.
So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is,
Like if I'm broke and I'm homeless, right? But like, I'm gonna steal from Walmart because I want to survive. I want to keep going.
now what you just said is in the Bible. If a poor man steals food to eat, he's supposed to pay back 7 times what he stole, right? But if you catch him doing it, you're not supposed to throw him in jail for that. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to show mercy to him. And not to mention, we are in a scenario or in a position which is unnatural. Because we're supposed to have land, yes, an inheritance. And on that inheritance, you're supposed to grow plants or, you know, food, crops, grains, fruits. You're not supposed to glean or harvest the corners of your field. You know why? According to the laws of God, that's for the homeless and the poor. So if you had a farm that was right outside the city, or farms within the city, where they had little areas, community gardens, where the homeless could go get fed, do they need to steal from Walmart anymore? No. But what if you deprive people of the natural places where the poor and downtrodden are supposed to receive help?
But what if that one stealing? He's like, nah, I want Pop-Tarts though. I don't want no. You know what I mean, I don't want kale or this. I want Pop-Tarts.
And
So I'm gonna go steal Pop-Tarts.
Then he gets exactly what he wants. A foot in his ass. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, the Bible has everything in here, and it's pragmatic wisdom.
For sure. And I'm speaking because I see people saying things like that. That's not how I think.
No,
I'm just giving you a little
I know
scenario.
the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, King, we come in contact with that a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People be like, well, what was I supposed to do? It's like, you're supposed to follow God, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a situation that was, you know, obscure, unclear, vague, all those different things to describe something that is not easily solved.
For sure.
However, you're supposed to do your best according to the wisdom that God gave you. You're not supposed to just go, well, you know what? I'm going to just throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. So I'm going to tell you, in a world of criminals, what's going to swim in a world of criminals? Criminality. If you're in a world of liars, telling the truth is going to get you fired, it's going to get you barred and ostracized. But the Bible says, thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. So all those things might put you in opposition to the world at large, but guess what? Don't matter if you're in opposition to the wicked. You're supposed to trust in God that He will preserve you. Give me damn, we holding something else right now, right? Yeah, you get that. Yeah. Check this out, kid.
I'm hearing you.
2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
So when it comes to your own ideology of what's right and wrong, it's not for private interpretation. You're supposed to, as an Israelite. Now, if you're not an Israelite, hey, do your best. But I'm going to tell you, your best is always going to be subpar to the wisdom of God. That's why Christianity is the most popular religion on the planet, for all its faults. Because the wisdom that's in the Bible is unparalleled. I mean, shit, if people would just follow the wisdom of the Bible, child trafficking wouldn't be a thing. Destroying the environment wouldn't be a thing. Because if you destroy the air you got to breathe, isn't that a direct attack on yourself?
It is.
It is. But if you have the wisdom of God, you would already realize that, and you would go, you know what? I'm not going to destroy God's creation simply to turn a couple of nickels when there are plenty of other ways that are righteous where I can be compensated.
So you can easily say like MAGA movements are all autonomous, right? Autonomous morality. Autonomous in a negative sense. Because they cause a lot of harm, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing. I'm not going to say they're autonomous either. Because I have a question. If you're not following God's example for righteousness, you're still following an example that He allowed to be created for wickedness. Give me a second. Well, what are we on? Hold on. Before we get
I'm
something
having trouble like understanding that. But
give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm sorry, you were going to say, King?
no, go ahead. I'll hear you first.
Yeah. So I want to show you in 2 Thessalonians, the children of the wicked are being revealed, right? And the children of the wicked are who you would call so-called white people today, right? Because when you think of a group of people more wicked on the planet, none of them eclipse the so-called white men. None of them.
I'm having trouble understanding the.
Start at 3. Yeah, start at 3. So finish your thought.
I'm having trouble understanding. Like it sounds like your positions, like you're sometimes you're with the autonomy, sometimes you're not.
Well, no, it's not that I'm with or against. I'm just trying to tell you that nothing is autonomous. Everything is spiritually inspired, even wickedness.
For sure. But going back to what you said a moment ago about you're not supposed to destroy certain things, but a lot of these guys, well, I'm talking about destroy a lot of these things. So it's like, but you're kind of saying also like, well, some of that's okay. So
No.
That's their portion.
Yeah, that's their portion. So I have a question, right? So let's take Batman, for instance, right? Batman, his domain is Gotham City. What if something happens in Metropolis? You expect Batman to go to Metropolis? He might make an appearance from time to time.
Fly by.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, okay, it's convenient for me to be here right now. Let me do some good. But that's not his shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but if something happens in Gotham, he's like, yo, that's my shit right there.
It's jurisdiction, right?
That's my jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So the Most High God gives you jurisdictions where you can affect change. Right? That's why we're told to meddle not with many matters, because we will not be found innocent. There's so much wisdom in that, King. I have to say it again. Go ahead. Can you find that real quick? Meddle not with many matters. I know we holding a lot of stuff, bro. I'm sorry.
I think real quick to throw it in there. I think what I'm saying is a lot of people follow apocrypha and not the canonical text. And so by me just saying that, what is your view on that?
My view is you're supposed to seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. The Apocrypha is part of the whole Bible.
Okay.
So, and here's the thing. You got to start where God speaks. God speaks directly in the first 5 books, giving us His laws. Then He speaks in the Tanakh, the Torah and the Tanakh. Then you go into essentially a blend of books that are either additions of other books, like the editions of Esther, to the book of Esther, Daniel and the 3 holy children.
So not all apocrypha is bad then.
Well, it depends, because see, some of the apocryphal books, like what is it, the Book of Jubilees?
Like you know, because like I talked to you about it before, like Calvin.
Yeah.
You know, he has a whole tomb of divinely ordained text. But it's like I know a lot of us would disagree with Calvin, who's actually read the KJV.
Yeah, definitely.
But he made this off of the KJV, so that's why I'm like, You know, if you're kind of like, if you're easily swayed, like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, Calvin, yeah, let's go.
But see, here's the thing. John Calvin was an Edomite. He was a so-called white man.
Yeah.
When did the Most High God give anybody outside of Israel the authority to add onto his word? He never did. So I'll get this one, King.
Sorry to throw you off, by the
No,
way.
no, no. You good? Because you're saying a lot of things that a lot of our people don't have the unfortunate.
I have a lot of things I want to clear from my own. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you guys have the knowledge, so like, you know,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
You know, the Bible says if you see a man of wisdom, you're supposed to wear out his doorstep, going to and fro, getting more information. You have, and that's why I said I enjoy talking to brothers that read, because your questions, you have the vocabulary to adequately phrase your question to receive an answer. What if you're real dumb and you got questions?
It's gonna be tough.
It's going to be tough.
It's gonna be all about brevity, man. You gotta make it like, you know what I mean, short, sweet. But sometimes big words do help with that, like that syntax.
Well, but cat in the hat level teaching, sometimes there are just certain things where it's like, yo, this is above your pay grade.
I got a friend who won't read a lot. I have a friend who won't read a lot of these texts that I read. She's like, oh, I don't understand these words. It's just like patriarchal. Like I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm like, dude, I see what you're saying, but that's not gonna do you any favors. Like you have to just do it. You gotta read it. That's the only way you're gonna learn.
Well, but the Bible also says that you have to seek a teacher.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's a lot of things in the Bible that you can't just get the hang of. You need a teacher.
Yeah.
But let me get this real quick.
For sure.
This is Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The prophets are the Israelites. If you go to Psalms 148, it talks about the prophethood is reserved for the saints. Right?
Yeah.
So John Calvin, being an Edomite or a heathen, he's not a so-called like saint. He's not an Israelite. So why would he feel that he had the authority to change the times and signs of things that are in the Bible? That's because of Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and they cover the faces of the judges thereof.
Something happened in France, man. That school you went to was like Rabelais, Calvin. A lot of people inspired Thelema.
Yeah.
It was all French style, like French top down, like atheist as hell. Like
So
it was all like matter, you know. It's like,
are you familiar with the Frankist movement?
Frankist?
Frankist,
Frankist? I've heard of this, but I don't know anything about it.
where the more you sin, the closer to God you become.
The more you, oh yeah.
Yeah. So that the Frankist movement took hold of the Catholic Church around the 16 and 1700s. That's why you have a lot of so-called amendments happening to the Bible, things being taken out of the Bible. The Protestant Reformation being paramount of what we're talking about,
Exactly.
right? So that's why we're trying to get back to the basics of, let's go back to the ways of our forefathers.
Like as much as I read, and I remember talking about like books. Like I also oppose book worship. Like the Bible, sure, but like just because it's a book and it looks great,
Yeah.
it's a handsome book, doesn't mean that it's like, I'm not gonna dogmatically follow it because that's it's not a teacher.
Sure.
This is information. You gotta skim through it or learn from it, whatever. But it's not a teacher.
Well, I mean, and plus you're supposed to look at what the knowledge and wisdom of that book produces.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If this is supposed to be a book so-called that is teaching you physics and mechanics, but yet every calculation that you make is wrong, you build a car and all the materials don't have the right tensile strength, don't have the right shape for aerodynamics, it's like, yo, you have faulty wisdom.
Yeah. We can start.
Yeah, this damn car doesn't even work, but yet you're telling me this is a body of wisdom I'm supposed to take on. It's the same thing with spiritual wisdom. Are you familiar with the coffin text?
Yeah.
Okay, the coffin text talks about literal child molestation, right? The god Set or Ra or whatever, putting his penis between the buttocks of his son. And that was literally a tradition of the Egyptians.
Yeah.
But what does that produce going forward? Molesting your children. All types of deranged behavior.
Nothing conducive to the proliferation of human flourishing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Nothing constructive.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't even have to argue the validity spiritually of that doctrine.
Yeah.
I can just look at what it produces.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who say that, well, an impulse is a divine message, so I'm going to do this impulse. So that's a lot of those guys' arguments. Like this is divinely ordained with this impulse to do it, so I'm going to do it.
Now my question is, say like, if you had an angel come down and talk to you, is that a divine person, a celestial person?
I mean, I don't know. From what I've read, yes, but
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Hold on.
Sure. Yeah.
It's baby steps.
Yeah.
What if you had a demon come and talk to you? Still divinity,
Still divinity.
just on the
That's-
left-hand side.
For sure.
So just because something is divinely inspired does not mean that you are supposed to automatically believe in it. For instance, there's an unnamed prophet in the Bible. And after doing his work, where he had to literally go and address a king, he was told by the Most High, return home, don't eat or drink before you get there. Do not do any of that.
Yeah.
But the Most High, to try this unnamed prophet, he rose up another older prophet to go and tempt him with food and drink and tell him, God told me it's okay. So if God tells you to do something directly, and then I come and I go, hey, God told me it's okay, and I contradict what God told you, what are you supposed to stick to?
What?
What are you supposed to stick to?
God told me.
What God told you. Even if God told me something different, it doesn't matter. God told you what to do.
Yeah.
So do what God told you to do. He got swayed, he ate and drank, and then he got devoured by a lion. But no, he got mauled to death by a lion, and the lion didn't even eat his flesh. And the donkey that he was riding on, the lion sat on one side of the road, and the donkey sat on the other.
That's kind of like the story with Faust, right? It's like that was like,
Faustian bargain in.
yeah, divine wisdom. This is like divinely inspired, so I'm gonna do this. Like you know, so
Mhm.
you know.
So simple as your parents telling you to do something, and then your brother come along like, no, they said
Yep.
to do this.
Yeah.
Unless your brother has more authority than your parents, which he doesn't, because he's subject to the same parents that you're subject to.
Yeah.
So how's he going to tell you, hey, I told you that dad and mom, what they said don't matter.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're trying to tell our people when it comes to God and his edicts. What God says goes. And if you think differently, go try things your way. But the thing is, though, don't bring God into that. And when it blows up in your face, don't blame God for that.
Yeah, because God didn't say that.
Yeah, not only did God not say that, God told you not to do it in the first place.
Right.
Don't blame the other person that told you otherwise.
So, like, how many times have you heard blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians say if there was a loving God, he wouldn't let us be under the boot of these people like this?
All the time.
All the time. But what did God tell you would happen to us if we didn't keep his commandments? He would put us under the boot of our enemies. So, if you know before you break God's laws and you're still on top, that if I break his laws, he's going to take it all from me and throw me to the bottom of the earth, did God really throw you to the bottom of the earth? Or did you do it to yourself?
Myself.
And that's why the Bible says, Israel, thou hast destroyed thyself. And this is to my camera as well as to you, Brother Charlie. I love talking to my people like this because it lets us be frank about our position in this world. This is self-inflicted,
Well, I mean, it allows change.
and it allows
Change
improvement.
that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it allows for improvement.
Right.
Because the more we draw back to God, the more God can draw these curses off of us. Because why do you think God curses us in the first place?
I don't have a good answer for that, but
Okay. Do you have any kids?
No.
You got any cousins? Stuff like that?
yeah.
If you were babysitting your cousin and he has a sippy cup, say he's 5 years old, he got a little sippy cup. And he likes to just throw his sippy cup every time you give it to him. He throw it on the ground. What are you going to do eventually?
Cry.
Yeah, and then cry for it. What do you do eventually? You don't give it to him. That's a light penalty. But it is a penalty. And when he cries for that sippy cup, you might tell him, hey, if I give this back to you and you throw this on the ground again, I'm not giving it back to you at all. And then what eventually happens after you stick to your word enough? He doesn't knock his sippy cup over anymore. Why? Because he knows if I do it, it's gone. The Most High God said, if you break my laws, I'm going to literally make you a proverb and a byword. Instead of being called the tribe of Judah, we would be called a nigger. Nigger means black. So being called black and nigger, same difference. You're from the tribe of Issachar. But instead of being called Issachar, you're being called Mexican. Or New Spaniard, because wasn't Mexico called New Spain? It was. And so on and so forth for all the tribes. Proverbs and bywords. You heard what I said about the concrete and the iron being over our head and beneath our feet. We would be smitten with madness. How many of our people are out of their minds because of what we're going through? A lot. When you pull into San Antonio, it might as well be a damn showcase of homelessness and drug use. And guess what? That's after they moved a lot of the homeless out of here. A brand new crop of homeless people just spring up.
Yeah, it just doesn't cure the issue.
But here's the thing. The Bible says that we would be smitten with madness. It also says our eyes would fail looking for help. Mainly for our children, right? Our children would be taken and there'd be no might in our hand and our eyes would fail with longing, looking for them all the day long, trying to get them back. But see, when we tell our people what the Bible says, more times than not, they're not interested in that. And because they're not interested, guess what? The curses continue. The curses are for our correction. That's what they're for. Give me Hebrews 12 and 5. You could drop this down. Actually, yeah, get that. I almost wanted to drop it. Check this out.
Mic drop.
Sirach chapter 11, verse 9. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. My son, meddle not with matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing.
An excellent example of this is a politician who is just starting their career. They haven't been given money from any outside source. They're pure by way of their intentions. But as they get involved with more and more corruption, now all of a sudden, when they get out of that, they get out of a meeting with corrupt parties, now they might have a dollar bill that don't belong there in their pocket. And what's the word? Extrapolate, right? You expound on that a good 10, 20 years. Now you're dealing with a career corrupt politician. Whereas when they first started out, they were known as the golden boy. That's why you're not supposed to be meddling with a lot of matters.
Well, when money's involved, you'll do anything.
And what is money? The root of what? All evil. You can only resist the allure of gifts and money, fame and exaltation from the wicked for so long. A gift destroyeth the heart. And before that, it says, oppression maketh the wise man mad. Say you got a cousin, right? I'm a cop, and I shoot your cousin dead for no reason. Unjust killing. What does the police union and police department do?
Protect the cop.
By doing what? They don't press charges, but what do they do to you? They cut you a check. But they also make you sign an NDA. Now you can't go on a justice campaign talking about how wicked the cops are. Why? Because you accepted your 30 pieces of silver.
It's more convenient.
Blood money.
It's more, for people that are a little more ignorant, it's more convenient to accept the money than to speak out
Yeah.
against the motherfucker. I mean, so it's
Well,
it sucks that
that too.
a lot of these guys do shut up. It's like, nah, man, like, fuck the money. Like,
Well, but you got to remember, and here's the thing. I'm not going to say that a lot of times when they try to compensate people for unjust killings with money, that they give just a little pittance. A lot of times they're talking about life-changing money. I'm not trying to put all my business out there, but, on average, you might clear 70, 120,000 a year, right, on a good year. Imagine to go from 80 to 90,000, and they offer you $10 million after tax. That's what going in your pocket. Your lawyer's already paid. You getting $10 million. All you got to do is just let this shit go. Let bygones be bygones.
Where's it at?
And that's what people will say. Do you have the money? Where is it at? Oh, it's already in my account? You going to give me 3 days to think on it? Because they already know. I'm going to give you 3 days to be a multimillionaire. You done paid all your bills. You done paid off all your loans. Your car is paid for. As a matter of fact, you done replaced everything. You living high on the hog now in 3 days. At the end of that 3 days, you think you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to give all that money back. Hell no, you're going to be like, you know what? He wasn't that important.
That's how the money, they can trump some charges on that ass. That's the other side.
Hey, and if you turn down the money, you become an enemy of that very same institution that has billions of dollars.
power over you.
So now you've already seen that power has the actual agency to kill and destroy, but they also have the agency to compensate and to pay you off. So that puts you between a rock and a hard place.
Iron hand with velvet glove on it, or you take this fucking glove off.
Some people die for not accepting the money. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they do. As a matter of fact, a lot of times you see these people getting in these car accidents, these celebrities, after they've been talking about the corruption in the industry, that's what they're dying for. But here's the thing, the reason why they're dying is because they made an agreement. They agreed, hey, I'm going to take this compensation, and I'm not going to say nothing, and I'm going to do my job. All of a sudden, they want to be a damn Boy Scout. Well, you're violating our agreement. And you already know what we do to betrayers. Give me Isaiah 28. Did you know the Bible talks about that?
No.
God is going to have to disannul the covenants that we made with the evil people in this world.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and guess what, King? I didn't know it either. When I finally started actually reading the Bible, I was like, yo, how have I been living my life without this book?
How many years have you been reading KJV?
Just about 9 years. And
Just?
but here's the thing. I know brothers who've been reading it 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And they can run circles around me when it comes to wisdom.
And it's crazy. You're always going to be you're never going to stop referencing it, right? You're always going to keep
No.
studying it. Right? Yeah.
My question is, when can you not use the Bible?
It's like it's like the Akashic records.
Oh, it's far more accurate than that.
Well, for sure. I'm saying like anything that happens, it's already happened in the Bible. Like to you in real life, like it's already accounted for in the Bible.
I want to show you this real quick, Kenny. Right? Get me... Yeah, sorry, 18. 20 and 18. Check this out. Actually, start at 16. Salakia, 15. Just go to what I call, man. Just read the damn book, nigga.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. Let me start over. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
Now we got to speak on this. That tried foundation is who you would call Christ, Yahushua. Because to believe in Yahushua and to have faith in him means that you do all the righteous things that God told you to do. Keep the law. That's why Christ said, if ye love me, keep my commandments. Right? But if you've made an agreement with the world at large, you can't keep the commandments like that. Because whenever it's inconvenient to the agreement that you made with wicked people, well, you got to choose. You going to go with them, or you going to stand with God? Knowing that you made an agreement with these wicked ass niggas.
That's every day because everyone's wicked.
Check this
I
out.
find myself every day in that situation.
Well, but I'm going to tell you, as long as you always choose the Most High, one way or another, you will make it out all right. I'm going to tell you, I don't even have to explain it to you. You a Mexican man in America. I'm a black man in America. I know there's been times where you 3 days out from rent day and you like, damn, I ain't got shit in my account. How is this going to work?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Most High God, you might not even know it was God. All of a sudden, money show up in your account. Or somebody that you ain't talked to in a while, they're like, hey, man, you know I got a job for you real quick? And they pay on the same day. Instant solution to a problem that you've been worried about for months. Did you know the Bible says it's a small thing for God to make a poor man rich? He does. That's why you're not supposed to be motivated by money.
Right.
God running this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Verse 17. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it.
That overflowing scourge is the judgment that's coming with Christ when he returns. As a matter of fact, we didn't get a chance to read it. Give me Isaiah 63. I want to show you, as well as anybody under the sound of my voice, because a lot of people, they like to listen from a distance, and that's fine, right? But I want y'all to know who Christ really is. He's not hug 'em hard Jesus, right? Because that's what you're told. Christ just wants to love the world. No. Go ahead and get it.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat?
Baby steps. So Isaiah is having a vision of Christ, or Yahushua, and he's returning from Edom, the so-called white man's homeland. The heart of his homeland is called Basra. It's like coming from Washington, D.C. He sees Yahushua coming from Basra, and he's like, yo, what's all that red stuff on your clothes? If you were walking down this sidewalk and you saw a man walking towards you covered in red blotches, what are you going to do? Probably cross the street, at least. And if you could see a weapon in his hand, all the more to go the other way.
I'm gonna just be like, yo, you know?
Yeah, it's like, damn,
Nah,
you've been busy, huh?
Yeah.
But that's what Isaiah is saying. He's like, yo, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
Yeah.
Like him that treadeth in the wine fat. You know, people used to step on grapes and make wine the old-fashioned way.
Right.
That was a messy process. Let's see what Christ has to say.
Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I would tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
That's a glimpse of who Christ really is. Does that sound like Christ want to hug somebody? Does it sound like Christ wants to hug and love on somebody right there? No. Yeah, it sounds like Christ can't wait to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Give me Luke 19:27 real quick. We're going to come right back to the same chapter. This is to my camera. If your pastor was reading these types of things about Jesus, you would go to church every day, let alone every Saturday or Sunday.
So let me ask you a question. Why aren't these pastors doing this?
How do you make money?
Is there, okay, so how do you ask? It seems like there's a fundamental precept to lying correctly. It seems like all these pastors that are in the pockets of these guys, what are they following? Are they just taking the KJV and just they have their own interpretation
No.
or false interpretation? How does it?
Actually, I'm going to go even further than that, 'cause it's not just seminary school. That is the problem. That's the institution where they are inculcated to lie. But the lie starts when they sign a contract called a 501c3. And that is the contract with the government that tells them what they can teach and what they can't teach.
Bro, hold on. What are the
501c3.
501c3.
501c3 chart.
I've been waiting for this, dude, for years.
Yep. All praises, man. I tell you. 501c3.
Wait, no
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? I've skimmed against it across this, but not in depth, and that's what I want to do.
Now, as a Mexican and black man, you need to be questioning, why has the white man got a contract that you got to sign to operate a church to receive tax exemption status? Because if you're teaching that God only loves the Israelites, well, that kind of brands him as being asked out.
Right, yeah.
And if you really teach the Bible, out of all the people that the Most High God hates on the planet, he's paramount among them.
Yo, how can I keep in contact with y'all? Like,
Yeah, hold on. I think I got a card.
I got hella questions, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got a Bible at home?
Yeah, I read it every day. I making slow progress, but I read it.
That's my business card, but yeah, my
For
number's
sure.
on there.
For sure. I might text you here and there, or not.
Yeah, you're good. You're
Okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah, just say it's Charlie. I got a question. I'll
Yeah.
add you on my phone, and
Yeah.
then just throw it at me, man.
Yeah.
Oh no! In the what is the Gap Band? No.
Here's one question that I want to clear up. I think it's been mostly, I don't know where the interpretation came from, but the curse of Ham. The curse of Ham
Oh, curse of hand.
was supposedly that God made him. God cursed him with black skin.
No, that's
false.
Let's go to it. Let's go to the curse of hand.
Yeah. And so a lot of these racist motherfuckers are like, oh, God did it. So this is how they get their consciousness from that.
Now, what I'm going to really show you is the curse of pale skin.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it.
We're going to show you that.
Yeah. Let's go.
But let's first go into that curse of hand real quick. Yeah, that's like Genesis 9, ain't it?
It's early. Yeah, I think it's kind of early in there.
Yeah, it's early, man. Hold on.
I'm telling you, slow progress, but I try to skip here and there.
Yeah, I see it. So start at Genesis 9 and start at 20.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 20. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord of Shem and Canaan.
That's all we need. That's all we need, right? So you see the curse was given to Canaan, not even Ham, right? So that's only one son of Ham. Turn a page, and let's see. How many sons did Ham actually have? Where is it? So there's Japheth. Yeah, there's Ham right there. As a matter of fact, start at 10 and 6 in Genesis. I want to show you, because if Canaan is cursed, well, what about everybody else? Because that's one thing the white man loves to say. Well, all you Hamites are cursed. For one, we're not Hamites. But two, even if you're dealing with the Hamites, all the Hamites are not cursed. Go ahead and get it.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 6.
Bring it out.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Sabah, and Havilah, and Sapatah, and Rahamah, and Sapatachah.
So you get what
Bro,
I'm saying.
all the kids, all the names, man, just like just spawning out of nowhere, dude. That's just crazy.
But you see exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a lot more sons than just Canaan.
Yeah, yeah.
So even if Canaan and all his sons were cursed, that's fine. You still had Put, you had Mizraim. Mizraim is the father who we would know as the Egyptians. So how could Canaan be cursed and the Egyptians be the sons of Mizraim, and they had the most powerful empire on the earth at that time?
I'm just trying not to fall victim to propaganda. You know what I mean? Like
I got you.
even with like Shem, like every image I've seen that he's not a black man. Was he a black man though?
But I'm telling you,
All of them black, right?
everybody on the planet was a black man.
Right. And that's why I'm like, wait, what? Why? The propaganda, man. Why are they not black right here?
Oh, well, but here's the thing. If you were the most hated of God, and you wanted to put yourself right next to God, you got to invert what God said next to himself. Yeah, you got to put yourself on the horse, even though you're a servant.
What do you have a like a Bible recommendation on interpretation where I can make sure I have it? I'm not reading lies. You know what I mean? Like,
I would say gather with men who are like-minded studying this book.
That's why I fuck with y'all heavy, like real information right here.
But we're not done yet.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to show you what I said. Basically, go to Genesis, I believe, 4. Go to 4. Where it talks about Cain and Abel. Yeah, go ahead and start from 1. We're going to read all the way down. It might take a second.
That's
It's
cool.
going to answer your question.
That's
right?
cool. I'll probably leave after that, but yeah.
I got you. And then this is from a book called the Compact Bible Dictionary, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Okay.
And this is the entry for Ham. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. So when they call people black all around the earth, black and Negro, nigger mean the same thing. That's why they don't call everybody black.
But you're not saying like let's say that word though.
No. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
saying to
yeah,
say
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but I'm saying that's what it means.
For sure.
So say like if you go to Malaysia, what do they call the so-called Negroes in Malaysia? They call them Negritos.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what if you go, what's another place? What if you go to the Vikings? I always love bringing up the Vikings. Everybody thinks Vikings are just white people. They're not. You had 2 brands of Vikings. You had the Fingales and the Douvgales. The Douvgales are the black Vikings. And this is why reading is fundamental, guys. Look this book up. You can go ahead and look at it right now if you like.
Took a photo of it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can find that one online, the PDF. It's usually on Anna's Archive. You know about that site, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who likes to read, you know about Anna's, because shit.
Or Internet Archive. I made a little. You make like your own bookmark apps. You know what I mean? Have them right there.
Internet Archive be tripping though, man.
Oh,
On
God.
books that you really want, it doesn't let you get the PDF or the EPUB or anything.
Yeah, it does a preview, so it'll have like the contents or the epistle, and then like the back end, and then like 400 pages are missing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're like previews or whatever, but
The
Yeah.
Internet Archive it's been disappointing me as late, bro.
If you get a membership, it's free. I think you can avoid all that.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Try it because I have a membership, or I signed up, whatever. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
Yeah,
But we're gonna read this real quick.
yeah. Okay.
right? And then we got I think one more thing after that. Right? But we already got it.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 1.
You know.
And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Hold on. We gonna keep going.
So you see that Cain and Abel had to bring their sacrifices before the Lord. And the Lord favored Abel over Cain. And Cain, he was angry because he was like, well, why didn't you accept mine in relation to my brothers?
Yeah. See, I had trouble understanding why that even happened.
Because the Most High God, he doesn't, like when it comes to sacrifices, if you read the book of Leviticus, yes, there are sacrifices with fruits and grains and things of that nature, but God prefers meat.
So a lot of times you think you're doing good, and it's like, well, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not what God wants.
Right.
And see, you have to understand, they already knew what God wanted, because when you read about Adam having the breath of life breathed into him, that wasn't just he got breathed upon, he was like Pinocchio, and he came to life.
Yeah.
If you read the Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, the breath of life is the wisdom of God. So that breath that he gave to him that made him alive was wisdom.
Yeah.
That's what brought him above everyone else. That's what made him Lord over the earth. The wisdom of God. That's why that brother who was here, I forget his name, Jamaican brother. But the Jamaican brother that was here, the thing that, or Stephen, a thing I was trying to tell Stephen is that there weren't just two people here on the planet. Adam was chosen from among all the men on the planet. So he knew how to serve God. That's why you see Abraham giving a tenth or a tithe to a man named Melchizedek. Now, we're going to get into that later, but Melchizedek is an incarnation of who you call Christ. That's why when you read in Hebrews 7, it talks about Christ being a priest forever under the order of Melchizedek. Well, there's only one priest in the order of Melchizedek, and that would be who you call Christ. Remember that thing, regeneration? That's why it's important that you understand it, because you see some of the same characters coming back again and again. You just don't know who they are unless they tell you who they are. But you can infer who they were if you understand the prophecy surrounding different characters. Like John the Baptist being Elijah, right? If thou shalt receive it, John the Baptist is Elijah. But when John was asked, art thou Elijah? He said no, because there's no remembrance of things past. But what if you're the Son of God and you've been given all wisdom to all things? Well, you know who's who, even if they don't know who they are.
Right.
And this is to my camera. This brother, I can see the wheels turning, and I praise the Lord for it. That's what we are out here for, to make you rethink what this book means. Because the way the white man taught you this book, I'd rather read Calvin and Hobbes than read the Bible according to the white man's understanding.
That's why I'm here to clear things up, man.
All
Yeah.
praises. Let's finish this out in Genesis.
Things
Though.
easier with that meat offering, why he was pleased with it and not the fruit offering. Put it like this: if your wife was cooking, searing a steak on the grill, and you went by, you smelling it, that's good. You can't wait. You sit at the table and she put a bowl of salad in front of you. Are you going to be displeased?
Sorry, say that one more time.
So you get to the house, your wife's out on the grill, searing up a nice steak, you smell it,
Right.
good. You sit at the table, she goes sit down and bring you your plate. Instead of bringing you that steak, she brings you a bowl of salad. She said, here's your feast. Are you going to be displeased, or are you going to be...
I am, and especially because the work I do, like I lift a lot of weights. I'm really active. I'm always moving. I need to repair my body protein. I don't mean for sure, but yeah, generally, any man would probably.
I'll say it like this: you like what you like.
I like what. Yeah, exactly.
It ain't that much more complicated than that.
For sure.
And God likes what He likes.
Man, that's cool. That's cool, man.
I'm probably the most blunt brother that you're gonna run into out here.
You are.
Right.
Like in a good way.
Yeah, the thing is, because you shouldn't have to make things elaborate to teach it. The mark of a good teacher is to simplify something complex.
For sure.
So if the Most High God says, I like this, and you bring him something else, why does he now have to change what he likes for you?
So the notion to appreciate, that's kind of like,
Well, I mean, you can appreciate the effort. As a matter of fact, isn't it an honor that the Most High God even spoke to Cain? Say if me and you were in a boxing class, right? I'm your coach.
do you
Right.
box, by the way?
A little bit.
I have a feeling you do. I just see the way, you know.
Yeah. I practice a lot,
Yeah.
but I'm a general martial artist,
Okay, cool.
right? But say I got you on pads, right? And we're just practicing 1-2. And for some reason, every time you do a 1-2, you throw a damn liver shot after me. And I'm like, bro, I'm not telling you to do that. Stop doing that. And you're like, well, man, my right or my left liver shot, man, it's a killer, man. It's like, okay, that's cool, but that's not what I want.
Right.
And as your boxing coach, I'm telling you what to do. If you don't like it, what are your options? Either do what I say or go find another gym. So if you call yourself worshiping God and God says, hey, look, this is what I like for my sacrifice.
But you know what's funny? There could be an evolution to that person learning that. Maybe that's later on, just not now, right?
Exactly.
I just wait, or maybe communicate. Yo, is that will that be later on? Like, am I gonna learn that also? Not just like do what you want. You know what I mean?
But see, here's the thing. Why should God have to tell you what's to come if you don't want to accept what he got for you right now?
For sure, you should just listen anyway.
That's part of the test.
Yeah.
What, with Abraham and Isaac, when Abraham was told to sacrifice his son, he already knew God doesn't accept blood sacrifice. But because God told him to do it, he was like, you the boss?
So I was recently in Sacramento. I work in freelance event production, and I was doing X Games.
Okay.
There was a guy. I've been doing this 12 years. Brand new guy. I'd been 3 months into this industry. 3 months. And I was up there on one of the ramps, like fixing some stuff, and he got commanded to do something by someone else, and I started doing something, and he goes, "Yo, I wouldn't even worry about that. Like that, don't worry about that." I looked at him like, "Don't worry about what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Don't question it."
Yeah.
Like how? But where do you get the knowledge that I shouldn't do that? Like what? Like I was teaching him too. So I'm like, well, how are you gonna tell your teacher that? I was like, whoa, what?
And in your head, you're like, the audacity of this
Bro, I was
person.
like.
Yeah, you have to look at
I
somebody
was
twice.
dumbfounded. I was like, bro, that's a crazy impulse.
was it a white boy?
Yeah.
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 And I already know, because ain't no nigga gonna be like, hey, you my boss, but I'm gonna tell you what's going on.
I'm also forklift certified, and later on in the day, like there's certain things you got to pick up in a certain way. If you can't see in front of you, you got to go backwards with it. And then he goes, yo, pick this up and pick it up this high, that way you can see. I said, nah, bro. There's a method to everything, and don't act like I don't know something. Like just watch me do it. I was trying to show him, like, yo, you got to do it this way. And I'm like, bro, you got to like slow your roll a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm your teacher. You know what I mean?
But as a matter of fact, that goes right into what we are about to read after this. Go ahead and start it, 8. Actually, start at 7 and then go through. Yeah.
Verse 7, thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Keep going.
And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
So instead of doing what God corrected him to do, he said, fuck it, I'm just going to kill Abel. That way I ain't got no competition.
Gave proper instruction.
So I have a question. Even if God gave him even more instruction on what to do and what it would lead to, would that have made a difference? No. Because he didn't even fail when it came to doing a sacrifice. He failed to not kill his brother. And this is to my camera. That's why when you look at Saul, Samuel told Saul, obedience is better than sacrifice. Say I gave you a gift, right? I gave you a gift of $2,000 cash. And you go, oh man, thank you for this gift, man, I appreciate it. And then you found out I robbed the old folks home to get it. You're gonna get that money back. You're like, yo, nigga, I don't accept blood money. That's the blood of my elders. I don't accept that. The Bible says that the hire of a harlot is to give that to God as a sacrifice. That is ludicrous. To try to give God ill-gotten gains, stolen property. That's ludicrous to God. He's like, yo, what are you doing?
See, back to my point of like opposing book worship. There's philosophies out there that would tell you that you're not directly complicit in that money, so you can accept that money. It's like, you know what I mean?
But
Like,
that's the difference between God
And all this-
and the God of the world.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So what you're seeing now is you're seeing why the Bible is a cut above the rest.
Everything that I read that isn't the Bible, I see the correlation, and it all comes. It's like absolute one, and then it's like ontological investigations that things that are relatable to the Bible.
So let's take Islam, for instance, right? The Bible says you're not supposed to eat pork under any circumstances. Islam says you're not supposed to eat pork unless you're about to die. Well, I thought Allah was all-powerful according to the Muslim belief, the Quran. You mean to tell me that Allah is forced to give you something that he told you not to eat and contradict himself?
Yeah.
And that's exactly why when our people refuse to worship Allah, Muhammad and his forces put us to the sword. Because he was trying to shoehorn his own belief into our subset of belief and make himself a prophet of God. That's why we tell our people, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. These heathen, as much as they might mean well, they are not going to do well because they're not operating by the wisdom of your God, because your God didn't give it to them. And not to mention, like you said, your subordinate was trying to teach you and made himself look like an idiot as a result. Well, guess who the heathen are to us? Our subordinates. And then Leviticus 25, we're supposed to be taking servants and slaves of all the heathen nations. But that don't mean we abuse them. A servant and a slave born in your household is supposed to be like a son to you. And if you beat him or her to the point where they run away and say like, I beat my slave and they run to Amon's house, I can't go over there and go, hey, Amon, give me my slave back. I have to count him lost. Shouldn't have abused him.
Better off over here.
Yeah, he's better off over there, where he's going to get built up, reassured, and taught properly how to do his job. That's why slavery here in America is not the problem. It's how they instituted slavery is the problem. Nowhere in the Bible did it say to rape your slaves. Nowhere in the Bible did it say to feed their babies to alligators. Nowhere.
Yeah, those slave owners would say it's all divinely ordained.
And here's the thing.
See?
It was divinely ordained, but so is the recompense and tribulation coming to them as a result of what they did.
Well, they just be saying anything. Like they don't, you know what I mean? Like they just, no, God's like, we didn't say that.
Get me the righteous shall dance in the blood of the wicked. Your pastor ain't never read nothing like that. That's why that 501c3, it's ironclad. If they find you teaching the real precepts of the Bible, they take away your tax exemption status.
That's crazy.
Now, what if you've been operating your church for 30 years and you've been spending tens of millions of dollars?
So there's no loophole in that, right? You couldn't start your own. It would be like you'd be like a dangerous sect if you did that, right?
Well, you could do it, but you're going to be scrutinized to the government by the government so badly to the point where you won't be able to get off the
You'd
ground.
be like on the watch list or something, right?
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Well, what is that? What do they call that? It's that terrorist watch list or whatever. Did you know the Hebrew Israelites were on the terrorist watch list?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've never bombed anybody, never killed anybody. We don't even ball a fist unless you come at us like that. Now, if you come at us like that, we will whoop your ass out here.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. And if you watch our videos on our channel, we've had to whoop a couple niggas' asses over here.
Good.
But at the same time, though, we're not going out of our way to have smoke with people,
Right.
right? But the Bible says that
Whenever necessary, right?
you're supposed to defend yourself. It's a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Those are the things in the Bible that the white man will never read. Why? Because he has a debt to pay. And if you read the Bible, what is it? What is that? Exodus 21:16. He that stealeth the man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Well, aren't we found in the white man's hand? Yes. He didn't send us back home, and he damn sure didn't give us our shit back. So guess what? Death is coming to him. And we don't even hide saying it. Because it's not us saying it. God said it. Right? Well, let's finish that out in Genesis. You got that in Psalms, though? Real quick? Get that real quick. We gonna
Psalm
try to
chapter
rush.
58, verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
That's it. So when it comes to getting justice according to what they did to you, God is all for it. However, you got to do it according to his law. So them raping us and throwing our babies to alligators, God is not about that, right? So there are other ways to pay that back. And not to mention, they got to pay double. So for the 500 years that we went into slavery, they got to give 1,000.
So is there anything that you employ that's more intuitive, not really by the works of the commands, or no? Just curious. I can't,
Yes, yeah. I want to answer your question.
but I probably asked it in a weird way.
No, you asked it in a straightforward way. It's just a lot of brothers don't like answering it because they want to say, well, I only come out the Bible.
For sure, yeah.
If the Bible says that you can defend yourself, well, it's kind of up to you how you defend yourself and when you do it.
Right.
So yes, you have the law, but you have discretion within the law.
Discretion and discernment.
Discretion and discernment. And every brother and sister is different.
Yeah.
Some people, instead of like if I see somebody come up and try to beat my brother up, some people might just try to restrain that person. And guess what? That's a valid response. But somebody like me, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
But how it happens, that's...
But guess what? And that's a valid response. I wish you, I don't wish you were here because that day was chaotic enough. But that day that an Issacharite broke our speaker, he picked up and slammed on the ground. And we had to hold that nigga on the ground till the cops came.
What was
He didn't like what we had to say, that he loved white people.
He loved white people?
Yeah, that's why he did it. He was defending the white man.
He was coon.
Yeah, cooning. Willing to kill his own brothers because we're telling him that he's a king, serve God, and get away from these goddamn devils. And then when we hem them up, all of a sudden I ain't do nothing. No, nigga, you staying right here, and you lucky I don't beat your ass.
That we're trying to kill them and we weren't even doing nothing.
Yeah.
The whole
I had to keep reminding him, like, bro, you deserve to get choked out. I'm not gonna do that to you though.
And not that you guys are bears, but it's also that notion you can't just poke a bear in his, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, I can't let you like be out here disrespecting me, bro. That's stupid.
you can't pick and choose how they're gonna respond. The fact you fucked with them, that's on you.
consequences and repercussions.
Yeah.
But let's finish out in Genesis real quick, because I'm going to show you that pale skin is the real curse. They say leprosy is like a disease.
Yeah, let's hear. I want to hear that. for
Leprosy is literally just pale skin. Go ahead and get it.
Verse 9, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
Baby steps. So that's the first curse. When they till the ground, their crops are small and it doesn't yield the strength of the earth to them. Who are the people on the planet who have the most trouble agriculturally speaking? Where they got to use chemical fertilizers, they got to use tractors, they can't go outside in the sun. Who are those people?
Whites.
So-called white people. And we're talking about the curse of Cain. Keep going. Stick around here, King.
Verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from the face shall I be hid. And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
Hold on, baby steps. So when it comes to people having a homeland but they don't stay at home, who are the people going all around the earth, raping, robbing, and murdering everywhere they go, and they call themselves native to wherever they conquer?
Always.
Now you
All the
remember?
fucking time.
Now you remember that thing, regeneration? I'm gonna keep bringing it up. That's why you got to know about it. Because after Cain passed, you got to remember this is all before the flood. All those people who died before the flood, they have to come back. Those spirits have to come back. So Cain would be who you would be called the father of the Edomites today. We're going to grab it. It's Genesis 27. And it's just a little bit. I want to show you why Esau wanted to kill his brother. And I also want to show you his blessing. And it goes all the way back to Cain. Keep going.
And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Now, let's break that down. Who are the people on the planet, if you dare to even ball a fist, the whole world comes down on you like you're the second coming of Hitler? It's against white people.
It's always white fucking people, man.
And not to mention, the Lord set a mark upon Cain, where when people saw him, they knew exactly what they were dealing with.
They can't be. They can never be painted as the aggressor. It's always everybody else but them.
But this is a physical mark.
Yeah.
What more obvious and ostentatious way can I mark you than to remove the dark melanin from your skin and make you an albino? You ever seen an albino person?
Yeah.
They stand out.
Are they cursed or what?
I'm not saying they're, well, I'm gonna be, no, shit, I'll say it. Hell yeah, they're cursed. You can't go outside without burning up. That's a curse, sir.
I mean, just from a sensational, like, TikTok, contemporary, like, yeah, well, that's cursed, But it's like, according to that, I'm like,
there are Israelites in the Bible who are cursed.
yeah.
What's his name? Gehazi, the understudy to Elisha. He got cursed for stealing a reward that Elisha earned. So he cursed him with leprosy that would be passed on to his children. Being so-called colored with pale skin, that's being called a clean leper. It's not contagious. You can't spread it. Now, I know you're asking, why is nobody telling me this?
Yeah, as you just asked that, I'm just thinking about the narrative out here. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm about to answer some questions for you.
That's crazy.
Go to Genesis 27 real quick. This will be the last thing we read, and we're going to let you go, King. Because actually, I think we got to go to...
Shit. I did some good work today for sure.
Oh, yeah, man. So, go to... So, you already know Jacob got the blessing, right? For everyone to serve him, corn, wine, kingdom of heaven, right? Cool. So, go to... Start at 38 of Genesis 27.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Now, we got to interrupt on this. Who are the people, no matter how much they get, if they get left out one time, they start bitching and complaining?
What?
White people. They run everything and own everything. But let a Mexican man try to run a business without having it registered, and you start making money. Try set up a food truck, and you start getting popular, getting traction. All of a sudden, you'll see his food truck set up, and he'll have your recipes, he'll have everything that you do that he stole from you, and then he'll go to city council and get you trapped up, where you have to close down.
Yeah, I frequent LA all the time. There's, y'all are native from here, right? Y'all from here?
Yeah, more or less.
So you fuck with like breakfast tacos, like Tex-Mex?
Yeah.
There's a place called Homestay in LA. We're from Dallas, right? It's owned by white guys. And I tried putting LA on, dude, for years on breakfast tacos. I don't give a fuck. They're like, you're fucking sick over that. That shit's blowing up, bro.
I know.
That shit's blowing up over there right now.
Avocados and toast. You can go even more basic.
Homeboys, let's go to Homestead. Yo, dog. I'll make it. We'll go to my kitchen right now. The hotel will make it. I'll make some real shit.
So I actually, this is the most, probably the most nigga shit, but it's gonna really explain what we're talking about. When you go into Chipotle, if you see an all-white staff, you know that food gonna be garbage. Bland, damn guacamole ain't got no lime, no salt, nothing in it. The chicken burnt and dry. But if you go in that motherfucker and it's full of blacks and Hispanics, you know that food gonna be fire.
Honestly, statistically, I mean, that's an obvious thing. But statistically, in my experience, it's always the case. For sure.
So every time I go in, my wife knows it. If I go in and I see a white man on the grill, I literally walk out. I don't even give a fuck if they look at me. No, and that's why I got food poisoning. I got food poisoning. The worst case I ever got was the Chipotle in the Forum. And it was all Esau. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just hungry. Fuck it. I'll eat it. And then I got food poisoning, and it lasted about a week and a half.
Fuck that. Well, you said,
You said, got him.
Wait, Esau, what's that? What does it go back to again? Esau?
Esau is the Edomites.
Edomites,
So
okay.
we're going to go, you remember Jacob and Esau, the sons of Isaac?
Yeah.
So Cain and, the replacement for Abel was Seth. All the Most High God did was take Abel's spirit, and he allowed him to basically reincarnate as Seth. That way, the chosen lineage remained uninterrupted, right? That's why we're not worried about, what if something happens and I die? Okay, the Most High God will handle it. He's the one over the matters of life and death, remember? Right, but let's get this in Genesis 27.
Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live.
What? By the sword, what?
And by the sword shalt thou live,
Keep going.
and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Hold on, baby steps. So, are you familiar with us being in charge during the Byzantine Empire throughout Europe? The white man was our serf. He was the one who was a servant or a slave. But when you read about the primary problem that serfs during the Byzantine Empire faced, it was boredom. This is to my camera. Israelites are such fair and just masters that their servants were bored.
That was the biggest struggle.
Remember Guy Fawkes?
No.
You know, V for Vendetta, the masks and all
Oh,
that
yeah,
shit?
yeah.
That's who that's for, Guy Fawkes. He was trying to blow up King James. Well, I didn't know you had enough time as a slave to institute a gunpowder plot to try to go through the sewers with gunpowder and set up an explosion underneath the throne to kill the king. That tells me you have plenty of disposable time on your hands.
What a real slave you are, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. But that attests to how when we are in charge, we're not micromanaging every facet of our slave's life.
Right.
Because I'm too busy being in charge. Like that's the thing that Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, when we say that we're going to be the slave masters in the kingdom of heaven, they cringe at that. Because they're thinking of how they've been brutalized. But somebody has to build the kingdom. And we've already built everybody else's kingdom, so they owe us one. Right? But let's finish this up.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob.
So now you see why Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, and the Israelites all over the earth, no matter what you do, no matter how much you give, no matter how much you sacrifice, it's not enough. Because the thing that he wants, you don't have the authority to give him. And that's the blessing of the kingdom of heaven from God himself. Yep. I say that all the time as well. If we had the power to give away the kingdom of heaven, to get out of where we're at, we would have done it. That's why God didn't give you the authority to go against his word and his wish. But that's why also, no matter how much you give, he looks at you like, hey, I need more. I know I killed your ancestors. Fuck them. I need more.
More overtime.
Yeah, I need more overtime.
It's never ending.
I know you want to spend time with your family, but fuck them. I'm telling you, I'm just saying how the white man said it.
Project needs to be done.
Yeah, my and it's not just this project. My project needs to be
You're gonna
done.
make it happen.
Yep. And if something goes wrong, it's your fault. But if it all goes right, it's my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll never be acknowledged in any. Yeah, it's just like I did the work. Fuck you.
Now, what did the Bible say? It said that by the sword he would live. Well, how does the white man establish rulership and govern the earth? By the gun or the modern day sword? Just a bigger sword that you drop from the sky. As a matter of fact, Vladimir Putin proved that with Oreshnik. Did you see the Russians drop that Oreshnik missile? Looked like pillars of light coming from heaven. But that's just a sword.
It's a sword.
So now you understand with more specificity why things are turning the way that they turn. Why our people are endeavoring to try to pay back a debt that we don't owe. Some of our people feel like we have literally robbed them of their destiny when it was already prophesied before the two children were born that the elder shall serve the younger. Esau was the eldest. So if it was prophesied that the elder shall serve the younger, then that means that his birthright to receive the kingdom of heaven, that was already going to belong to Jacob. And not to mention, in Genesis 25, didn't Esau sell his birthright for a bowl of soup? He did. That's why he's called Edom. It means red.
Real quick, kind of off topic.
Yeah, what's up?
I wonder what y'all's understanding and or view is of time in relation to KGB. Like,
Okay.
do you think time is linear or probabilistic, or that's not even a question?
I think time is both linear, and I think it is disjointed and wavy in a sense,
For sure.
right? Because when it comes to, so like they've already kind of shown you how matter, when it doesn't have an observer, is not there.
Right.
It's more like filler matter. It's
Right.
not distinctly there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. But when there are observers or characters at play, then things are concrete. They're absolute. I think time is very much similar to that. However, I do think there are hard rules that govern time. Right? Give me Matthew 24. Right? Because Yahushua, or who the world calls Christ, lets it be known if the Most High God doesn't shorten time, that all flesh would be destroyed, right? If with all the things that they're doing for geoengineering, with all these issues with nuclear, facilities melting down, like most people don't even realize the Fukushima incident should poison all of the Pacific and therefore all the waterways in the world. But the reason why it's not destroying all life on the planet is because the Most High has agents, or the angels, flying to and fro, making sure certain things don't happen, certain things don't get out of control, right? But get me 22.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
But for whose sake?
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
So it's not just all the Israelites. The elect are those who are going to be part of the first fruits. When Yahushua returns, those who are found righteous, keeping the commandments, we're going to be able to enjoy that 1,000 years with Yahushua in rulership, where we're directly ruling over these heathen. Everyone is going to be born back into the kingdom who's wicked, having served their penance, right? Because they're their penance. Their penance is going to be missing the kingdom of heaven for 1,000 years. Getting your get back. The Bible says that the Most High God is going to use the hands of his servants to get revenge on these damn heathen. I want to be part of that.
Me too.
Well, King, if you want to be part of it, keep showing up, keep the commandments. And this is to anybody who watches these videos. I know I'm shadow banned, but fuck it, right? If you call yourself want to be a soldier for Christ, want to be part of the saints when they come marching in, get on your damn job. For real, you got people out here trying to serve Christ according to their own interpretation. And as a result, Christ ain't going to have nothing to do with them. Give me Matthew 7 and 20. This will be it after that, man. If you want to bounce, you can. But, yeah, as long as you stay here, man, we going to keep preaching. You know how it is.
No, I get it.
Because this is to my camera. This is important work, man.
And it's cathartic, too. Just, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, you can speak boldly for the Lord. And me and this brother will tell you, this is the high point of our life, to serve God. This is the one time where during my week where I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Everything. Nothing. I'm not being disobedient in any way, shape, or fashion when I'm serving God according to what I've been ordered to do. Right? Go ahead and get it.
Get up and go to work. I gotta make myself do it.
For sure. But when I come to serve God, it's easy.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
So people who sin and don't keep God's laws, when Christ returns, he's going to be like, yo, get out of here, man. I never knew you. You worship another God. All right, Charlie. It's good to see you, man.
appreciate y'all, man, for sure. I'm going to hit you up.
Yeah, man. Hey, I gave you my number for a reason, man.
Hey, y'all take care, all right?
You too, man. Yahweh bless you in the name of Yahweh Shai, man. Right, give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Oldie but a goodie. I pray that, Brother Stephen and Brother Charlie, y'all grow according to the wisdom of God and keep the commandments.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
It ain't complicated, y'all. We have been chosen to serve God in a higher capacity than these other nations. We're the only ones on deck right now. Yahweh's not concerned about all these other nations. Not at all. Give me Joel 2 and 27 while the brother's still in the area. So I want him to hear this. The Most High God is the God of the Israelites and none else. I know that's a rough pill for some people to swallow, but damn it, Most High God can choose.
Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed.
Again, I keep saying it. It ain't complex. Just take in the wisdom that you're given, put it into practice. Let God sort out the rest of the shit. And it's not to say that our lives don't amount to anything, but to be real about it, you can't control much of it. Hey, shit, that's how the white man think. Kill them all, let God sort them out. But that's exactly why those who don't show mercy aren't going to be shown any. Right? But, y'all, we done came to that time. Right? We're going to get Revelation 22, 14 through 15. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. And I know I've been sweating like a damn pastor. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, but y'all don't understand. It's at least 105 today, bro. This shit crazy. I got in my car, I almost thought about going back in the house. Nah, before the Lord, man, shit, this is easy work.
So Revelations chapter 22, verse 14.
Bring it out.
Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
Ooh, all praise.
And on that note, y'all, call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises be unto Yahweh. In the name of his son Yahweh Shai. Kwam Yasharab.
Kwam Yasharab.
And Mawaf Lababal.
Mawaf Lababal.
That's death and destruction to Babylon for those of y'all who don't speak Hebrew. All right, y'all. It's been another productive camp. And we're going to go ahead and sign off. All right, y'all. Shalom.